I believe the stream is live. That actually caught me off guard. One moment. Let me just double check. Yeah, looks like we are live. Cool, cool. Let me mute this echo. All right. Hello, everybody. This is ZZ1000ZZ, and today I am continuing my no gun challenge run of Parasite Eve in New Game Plus mode with the Chrysler building. And hopefully we can clear floor 50 today. Now, yesterday's stream kind of sucked in that we got to floor 50 and ran into a boss I was not expecting, and I could not figure out how to kill it. Or rather, I knew what I needed to do, but by the time I figured out what it was, I had screwed up too much and the fight was no longer winnable. So, we had to reload. Today, I'm hoping we can get back to that same fight and win it. The problem, of course, is we will have to go up 10 floors of the Chrysler building. The same 10 floors we did yesterday. That's going to be a bit of a slog, but no, I didn't have a thought. I mentioned yesterday I wasn't sure what time the stream would start because I had dinner plans and I am groggy. I'm tired. Hoping to wake up soon, but we'll see. One thing I do want to do is I want to switch over one of these tools in my inventory with a super tool. I did realize that, and I don't need a regular tool at all, so. Okay. I did realize that during yesterday's stream, I found an armor I wanted to use, but I couldn't use it because I didn't have a super tool. So, now we'll be able to get the armor equipped before we get to the boss. Also, let's go ahead and sink all of our bonus points into our weapon. That's an extra 25 damage on all of our attacks. By the way, after I reset, I didn't have it in me to go back to the Chrysler building last night. So instead, we ended the stream by going back to the museum and defeating two bosses, the T-Rex and the Triceratops. Not in that order, of course. So, that, plus the just regular fights we got us to level 34. So that'll be another point of damage we get. I think we got like 300 bonus points, so... eh. With one level and 300 more bonus points, we should be dealing something like 4 more damage in attack. Don't think it'll matter, but we will also have more HP. That might matter. We'll have a bit more parasite energy and it'll regenerate a bit faster, so that might matter. Oh, did not mean to hit that floor. I keep... There's a little bit of a delay between the screen pops, or between when I hit the button and the screen pops up, so I keep thinking it didn't register my input, so I hit it again. And right as I go to hit it that second time is when it pops up, so it was just hitting floor 1. Anyway, I am going to pour myself a soda real quick. Uh, Part of the reason I'm groggy and tired is I have not had caffeine all day. I'm not quite a caffeine addict, but I do really like it. But also, I woke up like 6 hours earlier than I usually did so I could go out and do things, including my dinner plans. And yeah, I'm a night owl, so I usually try to go to bed when the sun comes up and then wake up somewhere around like 4 p.m. But instead, I wound up getting up at like noon. And that was after I stayed up late, so I wound up going to bed at like 7, 8 a.m. It was just, yeah. Was it north? The floors, remember, are randomized whenever you come to the Chrysler building, but once you kill a boss, that locks in the layout of the floors. So if you ever have to revisit a floor that has no monsters because you've killed a boss, the layout will be identical every time. Yeah, long story short, I got like 4 hours of sleep today, so I'm sleepy and groggy. Hmm. Yeah, if I remember right, there was one armor that we really want in the next 10 floors. Other than that, I think it was just guns, and then like there were a couple armors with mods we didn't care about, so we just grabbed the stats from them. But the biggest thing is there's tons of healing items that we'll be stealing from enemies, and some we'll even get as drops. Wait, do I have a revive on me? Yeah, I have at least one. Good. Last time we came through here, I think we stole 2 revives from enemies. So I'm guessing we'll get, a couple on our way to floor 50, but there's no guarantee. Actually, I think we had 4 because I think we stole 2 and got 1 as a reward from killing a mimic. Hey, cool. By the way, as you get higher up in the Chrysler building, apparently some floors will have 2 item rooms. I have no idea how you can tell which ones do and which ones don't, and I have no intention of ever looking for one. So we may miss out on a few items if there's ever a floor that has 2 item rooms and I just only find one on my way to the stairs. I hate cats. Okay. If I remember right, the last time we climbed these 10 floors, we got a 5,000 experience, roughly. So we will. Oh, there's a super pool. I thought there wasn't one on here. That's why I grabbed one from Sword, Frank. But anyway, what was I saying? I genuinely forgot. Yeah, I can tell I'm out of it. But we have 10 floors. By the time we're done with them, I should be more awake and alert. Now, these guys can have revives occasionally. I've stolen like 1 or 2 revives from them on the previous stream. Okay, please stop moving just out of range like that, dude. I swear it's like he's teasing me. He's intentionally moving just far enough I can't hit him. Like, you could just move farther back so it doesn't make me feel as lame. Do I have any medicine ones I want to burn? Nah. Oh, that's right. We do want to use this. No, I don't need medicine too, so yeah, let's start using them to heal up. We will steal a lot of medicine 3s and 4s on the next 10 floors, so healing shouldn't be much of an issue other than item slots. So we found the item room, the elevator. Question is this a dead end or will the stairs be over here? Alright, we have carrots. One thing I talked about in the last stream and I still find it really interesting, is that whether or not you steal from enemies is a lot more unpredictable than you might think. The reason being, oh, I didn't need medicine twos. Oh, the reason being, there's not just the RNG role of do you try to steal, which of course there is that, but there's also an RNG role at the start of the fight as to whether or not the enemy even has an item. In most games, enemies have like one or more items that you can potentially steal from, and it's set at the beginning of the battle. Every time you run into an enemy, they'll always have the same options. In Parasite Eve, whenever an enemy is spawned in, the game can actually decide whether or not they will have an item at that point. And I believe it can even give them one of several items, at least for certain enemies. What that means is because the game decides it individually for each instance of a monster, one monster can have an item to steal while another one of the exact same type might not. Oh my god, they actually hit pretty hard. I need to be more mindful of dodging then. But anyway, what I was going to say is, it can happen within one battle where one enemy of a type has an item and another doesn't. Like one parrot might have had a cure 3 and the other would have nothing. And same thing for between battles. Sometimes when you go into a battle, you'll be like, oh cool, there's this enemy. Last time I fought it, I stole whatever from them. Then you fight them. The next time you fight them, they don't have any item, or they have a different item instead. Don't see that in a lot of games. Does this turn north? Okay. Wait, we haven't found the item room yet, have we? No. At least I'm pretty sure we have. Also, nice, a medicine 4. That's big. Oh wow, we kill the scorpions in 2 hits. Nice. But yeah, one mod that we will find on an armor on these 10 floors is the HP max up mod. I don't know how much it increases your health by. I don't think it's definitely not 25%. I think it was giving us 80 health off of like 600. So it might be something like 1/8 of your max HP. Not entirely sure, but with us having 671 health right now, that should put us up to at least like 770, 780. You know what? I'm going up those stairs. If I missed an item, hopefully it's nothing too important. I'm going to be really sad if that was the floor that had the armor I was just talking about. But hey, we can just make a note that we did not get the item, well, the item room of floor 41. And so if we wind up not having an item we would really like, we can just go back to floor 41 and there won't be any monsters on it if we kill the boss. Oh wait, no, the thing I would be really afraid that we missed out on is a rare trading card. Those could be 2 rare trading cards between floors 41 and 50. If we don't get to, then we'll definitely have to come back. So far we've gotten 1. Rare trading cards are actually really important. The main thing is we picked up 1 since we came in, and we've already given 8 to Wayne. So that means we are currently at 9. When you get to 10, let's just move. When you get to 10, he'll give you what's called a toolbox, which gives you infinite tools. When you get to 12, he'll give you an infinite super toolbox, which gives you infinite super tools. And at that point, you can move all of your mods and stats around as much as you want without worry of losing an item. Oh, I didn't queue up my attack fast enough, so he actually rolled through me before it went off. I thought I would kill him as he was jumping up in the air and he wanted to get his attack off. Oh. But yeah, we really want the super toolbox because we will get an armor on floor somewhere between floor 61 and 70. Oh, medicine 4, nice. And that is going to be the armor we want to use for the final boss. But we're going to have a number of like mods that we want to transfer over to it from other armors. And some of those armors might have multiple mods, and even when they don't, they will likely have stats on them that we also want to transfer, so... Yeah, the super toolbox is very nice for your, like, super late game stuff. Oh my god. I'm playing so bad right now. I feel myself waking up a bit, becoming more alert. The caffeine is starting to kick in. Oh. By the way, a big thing is, in our last stream, I got to what I thought was floor 50, only to find out there were 2 more floors. So I apparently got to floor 48, but counted it as floor 50. Hopefully we don't make that mistake again. A small part of me is wondering, did I miscount? When we went up those last stairs, was that actually floor 40, or had we already gone upstairs and it was floor 41? I'm genuinely not sure. By the way, the Chrysler building sounds so different without the music. When we went to floor 40, there was none. That's how you can tell there are no enemies left, because you've killed the boss of that section. And it feels so empty, and it's just weird and a little unsettling. I think the Chrysler building feels less intimidating with music than without, which I just think is funny. I genuinely think the music makes the Chrysler building feel less concerning. I really don't want to fight Cat. They're one of my least favorite enemies in the game. And that's not even for a melee only run, just in general. By the way, that's why I just face tanked the damage. I wasn't gonna mess around with trying to dodge. I keep thinking that's a chest even when it's not. A chest can spawn right in that spot, and there's a little bit of background that to me always looks like a chest if the chest is there. Also, yes, I still say mimics are bull for being able to hit you right at the start of combat before you can have even a chance to dodge. Oh my god, how did I get hit there? Am I really that bad right now? I think it's out of range, yep. Ah, out of range again. Oh my god. I'm playing so bad. Genuinely. 1 second. Sorry about that. I was taking off a shirt, well, changing a shirt, and it's something a little more comfortable. Not saying that's why I was missing or anything, just that I noticed the shirt I had on was kind of warm. Oh my god, I was close enough to get hit there? I didn't think I was. I am genuinely embarrassed right now. This is some horrible gameplay on my part. See, it's that easy to dodge. See, that easy to avoid the AoE attack. I don't know why I was struggling that much. That was just weird. I'm gonna blame the shirt I was wearing. It was a bit of a heavier shirt. I had it when I was out and about. And it's a bit heavier, which, I guess is a little restrictive or whatever. Mostly, though, it was just thicker, so I was getting a little warm. I don't think that really had anything to do with why I was playing bad, but yeah, that's the armor we wanted. Okay, so that wise, this armor is worse than our current armor, and we do not want this. This slows you down, which is just horrible. But we do want HP max, and we do want the 3 stat points. So we will use a super tool. But want to make sure I select this right. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was confused. Normally, it asks you whether you want to use a tool or super tool, and I was confused why that wasn't happening. Well, the reason is because I only have super tools. So because we don't have a regular tool, I can't move those stat points over. But, oh yeah, look at that. We now have 771 max HP. That's pretty sexy. And without that mod, we were at 671. So I guess the mod is giving, wait, 100 HP. What ratio is that of 671? Uh, why is this difficult? It 671 times what percent is 100? Oh my god, my brain isn't working. I feel so stupid right now. Uh, See, I keep wanting to say, oh, that must be 67%, but no, that that is not how the math works. Cool, we found Flora. My brain genuinely can't figure out how to do the math. Like, if I had a piece of paper, I could write out the formula and then I'd get it. And by the formula, I mean I would just, like, write out how the math works. Because it's 671 times the X percent equals 100. Which would mean 100 divided by 671 gives us the answer. Uh, that would be 1, then you would have 32 left over, 320. 320, 67 goes into that, what, 4 times? Something like that. So yeah, I think it's 15% max HP. I think that's what it works out to. And if not, it's very close, I believe. So yeah, 15% max HP is a good enough approximation if nothing else. The main thing is uh that it's a big HP buffer we can get effectively for free. The drawback, of course, is if we ever do the armor swap trick to reset our mana regeneration rate, the HP will go down to 671 because when we swap the armor, our max HP will drop to its unbuffed value. That happened a lot when we were fighting the cockroach yesterday. That's why it came to mind. But yeah, when we find a tool in one of the item rooms, we'll go ahead and consume the armor for the 3 stat points. Oh, I think I know why I wanted a super tool with me. I mentioned that in my last stream, I had found myself really wanting the super tool for an armor I find late, like shortly before we got to the cockroach boss. What happened is the super tool I found, I was like, oh my god, why did I think I needed one since we just found one? I used one super tool like we just did here to transfer the health buff. I'll need another super tool when we get to the other armor loop, I think is what it must have been. There, I couldn't figure out how to move because I felt stuck in the corner. It might have been possible to move up and left. I was trying to move down and right to dodge, and I got stuck on the wall. That's why I got hit. Wait, did we kill it in 2 hits? Dang! Before we needed 3 hits if one was a critical, and 4 hits otherwise. I didn't catch how many of those were criticals. It might have just been 2 crits. But I think we also killed the cat in 1 hit, which even if it was a crit, that was pretty cool. We are ever so slightly stronger than we were the last time we came through here because we have gained 1 level, and that level came with, I think, 300 bonus points. So it's not unbelievable that we will hit certain thresholds for killing things that we didn't before. Something might die in 2 hits instead of 3, or 3 hits instead of 4. But anyway, the important thing right now is we are on floor 44, if I counted right. I was groggy enough, and I'm still paranoid because of the last stream. It is distinctly possible that we are actually on floor 43, not 44, and I miscounted. Not only did that happen yesterday, when I increased the counter from 41 to 42, a small part of me was worried that I had actually been on floor 40 and I incorrectly incremented it to 41. Not sure. If I did not make that mistake, then we missed the items on floor 42 and may need to go back for them at some point, depending on what they turn out to be. Right now, the main things I'm looking for are a second rare trading card and an armor that we won't get until like floor 49. Or, yeah, I think it was like 49, 48, something like that. That armor is kind of whatever. We'll take it, but it's nothing I care too much about. By the way, we do have 29 items left. Yes, I am syncing my offense plus stats, my range stats, and bullet capacity stats into Maeda's gun. No, there is no good reason to do that. In fact, it's a stupid and terrible idea, but it amuses me, so I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, we'll take those 3 stats. Huh. Interesting. Even though you can't use tools on Maeda's gun, having it means you can select a gun to tune up. Normally, if you only have 1 armor or 1 gun, you can't select them in this screen. But I guess Maeda's gun counts as a gun to let you select something, even though you'll never be able to use it. Weird little quirk. Alright, now we have 2 armors with auto potion. This one has much better stats. So the next time we get a tool, we can just consume this item for 3 stat points. I'll keep the one with auto cure and auto heal. For whatever reason, this game cure is what they use for status ailments. Wait, which direction were we going? I don't remember. Genuinely don't. I think this is the right way, but I'm not positive. Anyway, for whatever reason in this game, cure is the keyword they use for getting rid of status ailments, while heal is the word they use for restoring health. Personally, I find that really weird because so many RPGs have it the other way. Your cure spells in, say, a Final Fantasy game will cure your health. Your heal spells will remove status ailments. And so it always throws me off that this game has it inverted. Not really important, but... And then it gets a little more confusing because medicines are a thing. So you have a third keyword. But hey, we stole a medicine 4. That's nice. Wait, we might be getting a little bit more XP than I thought we would. Real quick. Yeah, let's use a medicine 3, clean up our inventory a little. But yeah, I thought we only got like 5,000 XP on our way up to floor 50, but in thinking back, I think that was how much XP we got between floors 31 and 40, including the boss. It's not a big deal, but since we need 34,000 XP to level up from where we were at the start of the stream, it should be pretty easy to tell how much experience we actually get. Also, wow, we dodged that jump attack. I still feel like it's just RNG as to whether or not I managed to dodge it. Unless I feel like casting haste. Okay, this guy's getting on my nerves. With the haste spell, I think you can reliably dodge it. Speaking of, I need to get better about using haste. For pretty much this entire playthrough, I didn't use the haste spell at all. In this next boss fight, I need to use it pretty much constantly. Part of why we struggled so much in that fight is I just chose not to use it. To be honest, I don't think I even thought about it for a while. And so we lost a lot of health, in part because we're trying to learn attack animations, attack patterns, all that good jazz. But a significant part of why we lost most of our healing items is I just never bothered to cast haste to make us better at dodging. As the fight dragged on, I started using haste a lot, and it is what made the fight become manageable. And it's how I figured out how to basically, like, I figured out what the pattern is going to be for beating the boss. Oh, wow. We stole 2 medicine 4s and then found 2 more. Nice. Okay. I didn't think we'd get 4 medicine 4s in one fight, but I sure am not gonna complain. By the way, I think when we hit level 34, it actually increased our item slot to 29, but then we got Maeda's gun, And that took up another weapon slot or another item slot, so we were still at the same amount of free slots for our items. Yeah, it is distinctly possible that I've gotten turned around this fight. I don't know for a fact I have, but I'm not confident. When I left the item room, I just had no idea which way I came from. I wasn't keeping it in mind. That's the biggest thing in this dungeon is when you're walking out of a room, make sure you know which direction you came in from. Because it is so easy if you don't remember to just backtrack and go the way you came. So yeah, there's a distinct possibility that we will wind up back at the stairs down. I'm hoping not, though. I'm hoping I actually navigated this script. As a reminder, we use what is called the right-hand rule. It's a very simple tactic for navigating mazes. You put your right hand on the wall to your right, and then you walk forward following the wall wherever it takes you. As long as any 2 points in the maze are connected by walls, you will eventually navigate from one point to the other. You can do the same thing with the left-hand rule, which is, of course, the exact same thing. You just put your left hand on the left wall. The trick is, depending on how the maze is created, one rule could be better than the other. If the maze were entirely random, then it wouldn't make a difference which one you use. But usually when people use programs to create mazes, the logic of the programs will actually imbue certain patterns into them. For instance, if you, say, start your maze with a screen and say, okay, this has the stairs up, that means it must navigate, or the maze must continue forward. Well, that already puts a lot of limitations on what patterns you can have. Like, say you said, we'll start in grid, 2, 3, or I guess D2, if you want to use battleship terminology or even chess terminology. Well, now you know you're in that point and you are going north because this game only lets the stairs down be on a screen where the stairs down always have to be on the bottom edge of a map in this game. Or not map, but screen. I'm not being clear at all. Okay, basically, you know the stairs, if you're just coming up to a new floor, the stairs always have to be on the south wall of the screen you're on. That means the maze has to continue north. If you then also know where you are at on the grid, because this building can only have 6x6 mazes, obviously other mazes can be different. But if you know where you are at in the grid, well then you know a lot of restrictions about how the path can move. For instance, if you were at the right edge of the map, say you are on the far right wall, 2 screens up from the bottom. So not on the bottom right corner, but on the right wall near the bottom. Well, then you would know for a fact that the maze can't turn to the right. It can only turn to the left. That's a bit of logic where that's, a very simple pattern, but bam, that gives you a bit of information. And then, say you know that item rooms and elevators can only be on horizontal corridors. Well, and that you need both of them to be in the path, say, before you get to the elevator. I don't actually think is true, but it might be. Actually, no, I think it is true now that I think about it. I live on this one camera angle. It's the only one I think in the entire game. But you can see the frogs when they jump up. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be able to explain those ideas well while trying to play. So, sorry if I'm kind of rambling incoherent. But yeah, if they usually when people make a map, it looks so funny to me. Via a program, they'll start with the base point and then tell the program, okay, your next room has these restrictions on it. And then it'll just keep repeating, creating new rooms one by one until it gets to the end. And that can make it very easy for parents to show up. Some programs will not do that approach. They'll do a more holistic approach where basically they have the entire layout generated at once rather than room by room. And that can let you avoid a lot of the patterns. For a similar example, if you ever want to see how this sort of thing can work, take a deck of playing cards and reveal the cards from the top of the deck, guessing red or black. Is this card going to be a red card or a black card? You might think that you should get it right 50% of the time. That's not true. You should actually get it right a fair bit more than 50% of the time. The reason is, suppose you flip over a card and you guess black. Oh, darn, it was red, you were wrong. Well, your next guess, what do you want to guess? Well, you flipped over a red, so now you should definitely guess black because there are 26 black cards left and 25 red cards left. By paying attention to what has come before, you can actually discern a little bit of information about what will come next. And of course, the most obvious example is when you get to the very last card of the deck. If you've been counting how many reds and blacks you flipped, you should know exactly what suit the bottom card will be. And if you're really good with memory, you might even be able to know exactly what card it is. I don't know how people do it, but some people actually can. I knew a guy who could flip over 51 cards of a 52 card deck and then tell you what the last card was. And it's like, yeah, of course you can figure it out in the sense of if you look through all the cards, there's one card missing. What was impressive is he could just do it by memory as he was going. I have no idea how somebody's mind can work that way, but I'm jealous. Anyway, I think we're on floor 46, but small caveat, it is possible we are on floor 45. Either way, we are halfway through the current set of floors. Well, roughly. The main thing is going to be how well am I prepared for not the crab bus. And even now, I keep expecting the crab to be the floor 50 boss, not the cockroach. Oh. But no, it'll come down to how well are we prepared for the fight after how much time I spent on the fight in our last stream. I didn't check the VOD or anything, so I don't know how long we were in that one fight. But I would not be surprised if we were in it for 30 or more minutes. Of course, it sucked. It got to be to the point where it was kind of miserable, and quite frankly, I just gave up out of frustration. But the amount of time we invested in it gave me a lot of knowledge. Some of it about the obvious, like numbers and such, and others just kind of that intuitive knowledge of learning enemy attack patterns, things like that. So, hopefully, that will translate into us being able to get the victory this time. The biggest thing I realized is I cannot afford to take a gamble on Liberate. Liberate is a really powerful spell, and we used it hoping to get a kill on the boss. And instead it kind of screwed us over and made everything that came after miserable. Basically, Liberate hit 7 times, and those 7 hits are divided up kind of randomly between all enemies, but it did seem like there might be a bias that it will go after the flying cockroach rather than the ground cockroach. And because of that, we wound up killing the flying cockroach without killing the ground one. And then we couldn't kill the ground one fast enough, and as a result, the ground one just summoned a new cockroach. And because their HP pools were staggered by so much, I mean, the one cockroach was at like probably 800 health, while the other was at 4,200. We never had an opportunity where we could really figure out how to kill both at the same time. And that's the big gimmick of the fight. You have to kill both cockroaches more or less at the same time. I think it's like 20 seconds that you have after killing one before the other one will revive it. So yeah, we're gonna have to be a lot more mindful when we do this fight of how much HP each part has and try to line it up that we can kill both at the same time. Alternatively, what we might do is try to get it to where we kill the ground cockroach with a physical attack, and then just use Liberate to deal 7 hits to the flying one and kill it in one go. Basically, if there's only one piece left, there would be no RNG as to where Liberate goes, so we'll be able to predict its damage very precisely. That said, a big question will be how much damage Liberate actually deals, as well as how much damage our club deals. I believe it was about 225 if I remember it. Ow. Yeah, I got too close, so I wasn't able to move far enough away to dodge that. That is me just moving to the wrong spot. I didn't realize that screen would move when we moved. That was cool. But yeah, it's going to come down to where Liberate lands the first couple times we use it. Also, yes, I am just going to use a Liberate to kill it. It is not against the challenge runs rules. We said no guns, not no range damage. I hate using Liberate, but when we get to that fight, you'll see why. Yeah, there's no way I'm killing that boss with a club. It's possible, but no. At some point, I will try coming back and doing it with a club. I'll try to beat the entire game without using Liberate. And that'll include the final bosses of the main game, which I did use Liberate against. But when I do that, I intend to come back with much higher stats. Because right now, I think my club is going to hit the cockroach for like 230-ish damage. It has 4,200 health on each half. Meaning each half would need like, what is that? 19 or so hits, I think. Yeah, 20 hits would be 4,600 or so. So yeah, we probably need 19, maybe even as little as 18 hits. But that's on each half, with there being 2 halves, so that would be 36 hits. And those fights are a nightmare. Wait, did we turn around? I think we did. Nope, okay, this is just the second item. Yeah, it throws me off that every now and then you'll run into a floor that has 2 item rooms. I don't know what determines it. And yeah, against cats, I am not going to try to dodge. I will face tank the damage every time, because it is so much faster. That said, I shouldn't complain too much about cats in these treasure rooms. In treasure rooms, there's so little room for them to maneuver, they're actually not that bad. What makes the cats such a pain for me is how well they can dodge. Oh, right. Anyway, it's how well they can dodge attacks and just like move out of the way a lot. But in these small rooms, they really can't. So yeah, this is the one where it gives us status ailment protection, darkness, stiffness, poison. The only one it doesn't protect against is confusion. Has terrible stats. And to be honest, I don't think we care about any of these resistances. That said, it only has +1 parasite energy defense, so I don't think it's worth consuming with a regular tool. Then, later on we can save it. When we get the super toolbox, we can move all of these over to whatever armor we want. And maybe we'll get some small amount of value out of them. I don't know. But for now, we'll wait. Do I have any reason to keep this second? Nah. We have two armors with us right now that give us max or auto heal. Sorry, yeah, auto heal, not auto cure. Hmm. So we might as well consume one. Yeah. This is the weaker one. It doesn't have auto cure, and it has better stats. So let's get rid of it with a tool. Another minute. Okay. At least we've gotten fairly comfortable with how to dodge these things. The first few times I fought them, I got so tilted. Oh my god, I dodged so poorly there. But yeah, I got so tilted by these things because, one, I couldn't figure out how to dodge them in the like 2 fights I had a chance to face them. But then two, they were present as early as like floor 11 of the dungeon. And they hit harder than like bosses on floor 40. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. But the good news is once you get used to them, they're not that bad. It's just one of those things where you really have to know what their attack pattern is. Until you do, they can be genuinely terrifying. Wait, are we really on floor 47 already? I feel like I've messed up that count, right? I'm guessing that might not be right. Yeah, we definitely don't need medicine twos. Let's arrange our items real quick. Okay, so how are we looking heal? We still have 4 medicines free, so we would like to cycle those out for medicine 4s. I have a rocket launcher in my inventory, which I would love to get rid of. To be fair, we could just discard any guns that we pick up. There's really little reason not to. For me, it's more just, I don't know what it is about me. It's like a completionist thing where even if I can't use things, I still want to pick them up. I think a big part of that, though, is in this game, you can use tools to transfer items or stats from items over. So even if I'm not going to use those items, I still get the joy of watching the numbers go up, and I just really enjoy watching numbers go up. I don't know what it is, but even if it's something completely inconsequential in the game, I like being able to see progress be made. I used to play several incremental games over the years where, they're like cookie click or whatever, where often you would start off having to click a lot to generate money or whatever the game's resource is. But then sometimes you would, or eventually you would get to the point where you automate things enough that you don't even have to click. So you could like watch the game play itself and then just every now and then buy, know, a store or like an investment or whatever the game has you buy. And I found it surprisingly fun. I really liked Adventure Capitalist, I think it was called. It was a Flash game they eventually ported to phones, I believe. Loved it until they kind of made some expansions I didn't like. But for a while, they tried giving you a more active role where, like, you would have, I think, up to 10 businesses that could generate money. And they tried to make it so you could have a more active role where you would click on the business and hold it. And while you were holding it, it would kind of go into like overdrive. But if you held too long, it would get exhausted and then stop producing. So the idea was you were supposed to like click on a business, let its overdrive bar fill up, and then right before it finishes filling up, you'd let go and then click on another business. Do the same for a bunch of businesses while the other ones cool down and then cycle through. I actually really enjoyed that, thought it was a cool addition to the game, but apparently fans hated it because they found it to be too much work and they felt like they were missing out if they didn't do it. So it got removed from the game, and then I kind of get it, but it does feel weird to play a, what do they call it? Idle game. Yeah, a game where you literally just idle and watch things happen for large chunks of it. But some of them are quite fun. I actually wanted to make one, and I got like 50% of the way through making it, except for the art assets. I had some like placeholder ones that looked horrible. And then I gave up because I realized I can't do art and nothing I made would look good. I almost used AI to generate assets, but then I realized no, people would hate it too much. People don't like AI art in games. So if I did that and released the game, people would just not play it. Well, some people would play it probably, but I'd get a lot of hate for it, and I would totally understand why. And quite frankly, I might not be happy with it because, AI art, even when it's okay, it just probably wouldn't feel like it had like I put my heart into it. It would just feel like this whatever thing that I picked up off the street. Okay, we get another handgun. I am sad though. I actually was quite enjoying the game I had made. I think it had a fun idea. It was basically that you would have a party. Ooh, yeah, this is an item I really like. Anyway, it was basically a game where you have a party, like fighter, paladin, cleric, mage, or whatever, and they would wander around doing stuff. And you could, my idea was going to be that you could configure like some skills, equipment, or whatever. They'd go around doing stuff, adventuring, making money for the kingdom. And then after a while, you'd be able to unlock a second party, a third party, whatever. And basically, you'd be a kingdom and you would be managing your parties. I got the idea from a game called Majesty, a computer game that was a real time strategy game which I absolutely loved, even though I was terrible at it. Okay, so yeah, this is, darn it, I should have saved the super tool on this and moved it over here. Okay. Oh wait, no, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Never mind. Okay, yeah, but this will work perfectly. We can use the super tool to increase our item capacity so we can hold more items, and then a regular tool to consume this plus the 3 stat points. Problem is, I think we do find a better armor a little bit higher up. Well, I have another super tool back in the station, and after going up another 10 floors, I believe I will get the super toolbox anyway. So, yeah. Well, that frees up some item slots. Yeah. Uh, if I haven't messed up my floor counter, I think there might be a rare super card on floor 42 that we need to go back for. Or did we pick up two? I don't remember. Yeah, we only have one, and I believe there are two in these 10 floors. So we are currently, if my count is correct, on floor 48, which means there's probably only two more item rooms where we might find a rare card in. If we do, great, we didn't miss anything we care about. If not, then after I beat the boss, I'll need to go back to, I believe, floor 42, look for the item room, and hopefully the rare card will be there. But yeah, from this point on, we will probably not switch armors until we get the super toolbox. Because I put too many mods on this armor, and I don't think there's any way I'll have enough regular super tools to move all those mods over to a new piece of equipment. So my options would, if I want to switch armor, would be to either give up those mods permanently because I have no way to get them back, or just wait until I get enough super tools, i.e. the super toolbox for infinite ones. I love how that looks. I think that looks so funny. But like in a good way. I genuinely like I wish you could see how the frogs look when they're up in the air on other screens. I am pretty sure this is the only camera angle in the entire game where you can. But I think it would just be so cool to just see the frog levitating mid-air. Yeah, like on this screen, we won't be able to see him if he jumps up in the air. I wonder if the devs realize that you can see him on that camera angle or not. Because they might have realized, thought it was funny and kept it in, or they might have just never quite noticed. I could believe either. I hope they realized and just they got a laugh out of it and they're like, you know what, let's keep this in. Yeah, if my count is right, we are on floor 49, which means we need to find an item room in here. Then we'll need to find the stairs, and then we'll be on the boss floor. It's funny, I keep not even realizing there's music as we're running around until I stop and kind of like patch it for a moment. I'm like, oh, that's really cool atmosphere. I think that's probably good, like a good sign for music in just a random dungeon. That it is very easy not to notice, remember, but when you do notice it, you really enjoy it. That's probably like a good sign for the composer. I don't know if you call that a composer or. I always get thrown off between the difference between like soundtrack versus score, or then you have what is it called? The not sound effects or folio, soundscape. Yeah, I think that's the term they use for it. Where it's not like music or sound effects or any like one thing, but you can have like 4 different types of audio going in one situation, potentially more. And you'll also have one person who's responsible for making sure they all melt together well. For instance, you can have music, and then you'll have things like, say, the sound of your feet when, like, your footsteps, and then you might have like environmental sounds. In a PlayStation 1 game, it's not such a big thing, but in some games, it's actually huge. I know I was watching a YouTube video one time where a guy was talking about how much effort he put into trying to get all the different sounds to sound like they meld, like work well together. The first step, of course, just being audio levels. Also, you need to make sure all of them are on the same like compression quality. You don't want one to sound like it was recorded in a high-end studio, another to sound like it was recorded in a garage. Oh, sweet, we did get rid of the armadillo. I thought we were gonna miss that last attack. So far, I don't think we've actually stolen any revives from frogs. I think the only one we found was from a mimic fight. If so, that's a little sad. That's an elevator, not an item room. Nah, collision damage. Yeah, collision damage is probably the hardest thing about this challenge run. Especially since hitboxes are way smaller than collision boxes. So many times I've just wished, man, if I could hit the enemy in the spot where they can hit me. Like the scorpion has, a bunch of little arms slash claws, and any of them that bump into you deal damage. It's like, imagine if I could just hit it in one of those claws to deal damage. It would make the fight so much easier. I definitely can't wait to replay this game using guns, though. I think it should be such an interesting experience to use guns after having spent so much time using the club instead. Yeah, let's drop a medicine 3. Sweet, we found the last rare trading card that we need. That great. Yeah, I don't have any super tools, so I don't think we care much about a regular tool. Let's Yeah, we're saving both of these for later. So, ooh, what's this? Oh, counterattack enemy. The ability that I genuinely think makes weapons worse. Reason being, if you use counterattack on a weapon, then you will often get hit and then get locked into the counterattack animation, which will make it so you will likely get hit again. It's like, oh, I got hit one time. Cool. Now I get some free damage by firing back. Oh, wait. While I try to fire back, I get hit 2 more times. Start it. It's especially a problem with the club. Counterattack is miserable if you're using melee weapons. Because of how long the attack animation takes, enemies will most of the time just run out of your attack range, so you'll miss them anyway. But while you're swinging at thin air, they will just, like, the enemy that hit you or a different one will just hit you again. I remember one time I was excited to get counterattack. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna, get me so much more damage because I'm gonna get all these extra hits in, and, you know, all it did was, oh my god, wait, what? Wait, what? We're on floor 50? Okay, one second. That's so weird. We spent this whole time with it saying I was on floor 49 and me being worried that I might have under or over counted. So maybe I had actually only reached like floor 48. But instead, I counted wrong in the opposite direction. We were one floor above where I thought. Okay. I'm not fighting these guys for any particular reason. I just needed a second to study my thoughts. So I figured while I was doing that, I might as well fight something. I guess trying to get another item, like a healing item, wouldn't be the worst idea. Sure. Actually, I really don't want medicine twos. I guess they're better than nothing, technically. God, I wish I could go back and save, but I would have to go through all of those floors again. All right. I am so nervous about this fight. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is establish how much damage both our club and the Liberate spell deal. But in order to be able to do that, we'll have to we can hit the first cockroach one or two times before it summons the second one using club, just face tank some damage. So that'll get us a few hits in, plus it'll let us gauge how much damage we deal. After that, we will need to, before we worry about using a Liberate, we will need to set up pre-raise because this fight is very dangerous and it is quite possible to die. Wait, how many revives do we even have? Okay, yeah, we only have two revives. So that's a bit concerning. Hmm. Yeah, I was not expecting the boss to be quite so soon. It is so funny that yesterday I got to floor 48, thought it was floor 50. Today I got to floor 50, thought it was either floor 49 or floor 48. If you ignore the individual instances, on average, I was completely correct. Anyway, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. That way I don't like get midway through the fight and be like, oh shoot, I need to pee. So be back in 1 minute. All right. I'm so nervous about this fight. Okay, actually, wait. Real quick, I just noticed something. When we're walking around, the music for the Chrysler building stopped. Normally, you will hear that when you've defeated a boss, so there are no random encounters left on those floors. That's kind of the game's way of being like, hey, you beat the boss, the area is safe now. I think it's interesting that apparently, if you reach the boss, the music will stop. I wonder if that's true if I were to go, say, down to floor 49. Would the music be stopped there as well? Anyway, I'm refilling my drink. That way I can hopefully not have to worry about doing that in the fight either. To be honest, I'm stalling for time because I am genuinely afraid of this fight. I don't think it'll be too bad, but When I got to this floor on yesterday's stream, I was pretty confident, and I got horribly wrecked. So, okay, trying to think, like, man, should I take a shot or two before the fight? All right, let's just go right in. Yeah, this form has two attacks. Well, one attack, it just uses it twice in a row. It's that little antenna attack you just saw. It'll usually use it once, then use it a second time, then it'll give you a bit of a break. Okay, we got two hits in there. Unfortunately, I didn't actually catch how much damage I did, so that's a bit unfortunate. Now, this form is scary. It's the funniest thing is the flying form isn't even difficult in and of itself. What makes it difficult, I hit it a third time, but again, I couldn't see how much damage I did. That's all I wanted to know. Anyway, what makes the third form a problem isn't that it itself is actually difficult. What makes it a problem is it is very annoying. That fire attack can often block off paths that you might like to walk through to like dodge or get close or whatever else. Then, on top of that, even though it's flying way up in the air, it does have a collision box like it was a ground enemy. So you can walk into it, take contact damage, and be like, wait, I was nowhere near it. How did I get hit? Item number... Oh, I can't swap item. I didn't think about this. This is a problem. Okay, okay. I can't do the armor swap trick if I have this many items. Interesting. I never even occurred to me. So yeah, moving that item +4 item mod over wound up being completely worthless. Oh, well, that's fine. But yeah, swapping armor like we just did resets the mana regeneration you have. That's why I do it, even though it did drop my health to 671. Wait, what hit me there? Was that an antenna from the little guy, or did I get hit by something else? I couldn't tell. Anyway. We dodge one, bait out the second, then we go for damage. No, I didn't. See what I mean about the flame? That flame attack is super scary. Even when it doesn't deal the greatest damage, so in that case it did, it can knock you back. Well, not knock you back. Oh my god. It can stagger you and cause you to, start taking a bunch of extra hits. I believe what happened is we got hit by the fire one time, and then the smaller one used its antenna attack on us a couple times, and I think that's how we died and proc pre-raise. That's it. We did have pre-raise up at the time, thank God. Alright. Switch armor back to our main armor. But yeah, so far we've hit the flying one 4 times. Okay, so 348 is a critical hit, which I believe deals plus 50%. So the base attack would have been what? 230? 230, half of that is 115, which would be 345. So yeah, okay, we're hitting for just over 230 damage with our base attack. And then of course, as we saw, you can get more damage if you crit. Also, we've hit the... Sorry, Shoot, I don't have mana for haste. Okay, now I do. So, sorry, what I was going to say is we've hit the flying one 4 times, the ground one 1 time. So, I actually am going to need to do math. And I'll need to pause to do it because there's no way I can keep dodging while doing math. At least not as precisely as I will need to. God, it hit me. I was worried about that. But yeah, before we do the math, let me just get my stuff set up again. We have pre-raise equipped. Or not equipped, but active. We are healed up. And we've switched back to our main armor for some refreshed mana regen. Okay. So we hit the flyer 4 times, the ground one 1. I think we have to just treat all attacks as non-critical hit. Just for simplicity. We need haste here, otherwise I will get hit. Alright. There's one more thing I want to do, and that is I want to use the Liberate. See how much damage it actually deals. I think it'll be the same as our club damage, more or less, so let's find out. 250, okay, that's actually a bit of an issue. Okay. Anyway, we hit the head, or the flyer 3 times. 4 times. So a 4-3 split, we had already hit the flyer 4 times. I kind of want to bring up a notepad and try keeping track of the damage. You know what? I'll actually do that. So we did 4 times 3,000. Or 4 times 3,000. Where did that come from? 4 times 230. 4. And then we did 250 times 4. On the bottom, we did 3 times 250. And 1 times 350, more or less. Okay. So the bottom one has taken 750, 800, 1100 damage. The top one has taken 1,000, just under 2,000 damage. Okay. So yeah, the bottom one is like 900 damage behind the top one. That is not great for us, but at least we can hit the bottom one pretty easily compared to the top one. While I did hit the top one twice after it became a flyer, at least for me personally, I believe the bottom one is significantly easier to hit. I could be wrong about that, though. Oh my god. I screwed that up so bad. Also, I didn't swap armor because I was trying to let my mana regen a bit and then just cast haste and dodge. But I got punished by the fact I completely screwed up the dodge and... Ah! Oh my god, I'm so bad. I got hit twice with the wrong armor equipped. That's horrible because it means I took a lot of extra damage for no real reason. So anyway, I think what we want to do is use the Liberate one more time and see how the damage spread goes. And then from there, we can decide how we want to split, or if we want to use the Liberate again or go for a bunch of melee attacks for a while to get the health to a spot that's a bit better for Liberate. I'm actually casting haste again because I'm afraid it's about to wear off. Okay. Both have attack, so we should be fine to switch out to our other armor real quick. Get a bit of bonus regen in. We will recast haste, so it might be up when we use the liberate. After this, I'm going to switch armors. And then once our energy fills up, we will cast the liberate again. Wait, want to dodge this next attack? Now we liberate. Yeah. Now, I wish I could show the notepad I'm using on screen, but I'm not going to try to set up a new overlay or new elements to an overlay mid-fight. So currently 2-2 split. 3, 4, 5 hits to the head, 2 to the body. Man, that is so much. I wish it wasn't biased to hit the head so much. Anyway, that is 9 hits of 250 for the head. 5, 4. Oh shoot. I use the number pad for my life split counter. So when I was typing in numbers, it changed the floor count. That's funny. Anyway, let's see. So we have 4 hits of 230 for about 920 damage, plus 9 hits of 250, meaning we have so far done about 3,170 damage to the head. It is about 4,200 health. That means if we use Liberate again and it hits the head 5 times, it will kill it. So we cannot use Liberate again until we are ready to go for the final. Straight up, not allowed. Like, if we use the Liberate at this point, we could screw ourselves over, basically. 250 times 5. Oh my god, I just. Ah. 250 times 5. I am typing wrong. Plus 350 means we've done about 1,600 damage to the body. Wow, that's not good. Oh, if Liberate would have just not hit the head so many times, if it would hit the body more, it would have been this fight would be so much better. Basically, the body has taken 1,600 damage, leaving it with about 2,600 health. The head has taken 3,200 damage, leaving it with about 1,000 health. Also, I have a spam bot. Let's ban it. All right. So, this stuff. If I use Liberate here, I think I'm fine as long as it only hits the head 3 or 4 times. If it hits it 5 times, I screw myself over. So I don't think we can use the Liberate. Like, that's just too much of a gamble. What I think we need to do is hit the body a whole lot of times. I think that's all we can do. Oh my god, I'm gonna take so much damage. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I feared. Okay. I thought we were going to get staggered so much by the flame that hit us that the ground one would hit us with its antenna attacks. Didn't happen though. Okay. So yeah, right now we just need to start getting our melee hits in, I suppose. I'm trying to think how I can do this. No! I couldn't figure out where to move to not get hit because if I went south, the round one might hit us with its antenna. If I went north, the flyer might hit us with the fire. All right. So, hmm, okay. So we did add another 230 or so damage to the flyer. Oh my god, look at that. That's what I mean about getting staggered, and then it leading to disaster. Anyway, so I think hitting the flyer might actually be easier than hitting the ground one now that I've tried it again. So there is an argument that we should look to kill the flyer with our club and then go for the kill on the ground one with the liberate. Now, to do that, we would need to deal a lot more damage to the ground one before, like, we'd be set up for it. But I think that might be our best bet. Mostly because the, hitting the ground one a lot of times to try to set up liberate to kill both at the same time is going to be very tricky. If I can just straight up kill one of the parts and then have liberate finish the second part off, I think that is a much more reliable strategy. Oh my god, haste wore off in time that I got hit. Basically, my thought is, like, I could get screwed by RNG if I cast the liberate while both are at, you know, say 600 health. One might get hit 5 times the other 2. So the only way I could be pretty much sure that liberate would kill both is if they're both like 1 hit away. Oh, contact damage. Oh my god, look at how many times I got hit there. That was horrible. I bumped into it and then got punished. Anyway, wait, is haste not up? It's not, huh? Anyway, to make liberate more predictable, since right now it is obviously pretty hard to guess how much damage it'll do to each piece when I use it, I think the best strat is to just go ahead and kill one piece and then use the liberate to get 7 hits into the other one. Which means I want to get... Wait, which armor do I have equipped? Yeah, I do have the wrong one. So what I want to do is I want to get... How much damage do I need? 7 hits of 250. Wait, 7 hits of 250 is like 1700 damage. So I want to deal 2500 damage to the bottom part, total. Then, I want to afterwards, yeah. I couldn't figure out how to navigate the flames to not get hit by the antenna attack. Anyway, we want to get about 2500 total damage to the bottom part. Then kill the top part with the club. Then use the liberate to finish the bottom part. I think that is our strat right now. The downside is we have only done about 1600 to the bottom part, meaning we need about 900 more damage. To be safe, we'll need to hit the bottom one 5 more times. So that's how it's going to be from here on. Our strat from here on is get 5 hits on the body, then use the club to kill the top one, then cast the liberate, have liberate kill the body. If we do that, I think it will work. Like, I think that strat gets us there. Oh my god. Alright. So we're healed up, we have free rays going, our energy is pretty much full. We want to go for an attack here if we can squeeze it in. Ah, no! You don't want to take contact damage. God, no! This is what I mean about the flying one. It itself is not very dangerous, but dear God, when it does stuff like that. We got staggered for so long, we just straight up got murked. That was awful. Okay, we need to heal up again. Also, I still don't know the collision box for the flyer. It's very wonky because of the flying. Every now and then I seem to bump into it. Not so much today, but yesterday quite a bit. Where I didn't realize I would. I thought I was safe, but I wasn't. There's something to be aware of. May not always be obvious that it's something I'm thinking about. Mostly, though, I just stay as far away from it as I can. That seems to work fine. Switch armor back. By the way, our damage is a little bit higher in this battle. Apparently when we leveled up, it actually increased how much damage Liberate would deal. I didn't realize that would be the case, but it's interesting. I guess Liberate consumes all of your energy, so it probably deals damage based on how much energy you had. So if you leveled up, that probably increases your energy pool and thus gives it more fuel, so to speak. Anyway, right now we're just chilling. I'm letting my mana regen. We'll swap armor again to reset the regen rate. Notice I did dart in there to try to bait an attack. Sometimes it's good to do. Other times I've screwed myself over by doing it. So, just something to keep in mind. The main thing is after it uses one of its antenna attacks, it will usually use the second antenna attack if it ever gets in range of you. So if it uses the first antenna attack rather than just running away, it could be worth darting in to try to trigger the second one. That way it'll give you a bit of free time. Okay. Oh my god. Need haste, and even with it, I might get hit here. Let's find out. Yep. Sold it. Yeah, when I saw the angle it was at, I was like, yeah, I think I get hit here. Which sucked because I was wanting to swap armors to reset our regen rate and then go in for an attack. But because I had to take time off to heal and burn some energy in the process, it did not work out. Okay. So I think we're about ready to go for a melee attack on the ground one. We just have to be mindful that the flyer doesn't have its fire attack ready. No! Let's cast haste. At least while I missed my attack there, I didn't take a hit in exchange. That's huge for us. Ah! It body blocked for it. Okay, we did get hit there, but I believe we did hit the body. So that was another hit in, which is huge for us. Whoa! Sometimes the movement gets very wild and it's tricky. But yeah, now that I understand how to fight these guys, I'm actually kind of enjoying the fight. Anyway, I think I've done about 1,830-ish damage. And remember, the goal is... What did I say? 2,500? Yeah. We'll probably do one extra hit just to be safe. So, well, maybe. If we see any crits, then I think 5 hits from what I said before would have been fine. But, shoot. I think it's going to use its fire attack, yeah. I was about to go for an attack on the body, and I was like, oh wait. I think the flying part has the fire attack ready. That's the biggest thing. I want to make sure I don't go for my attack when the flyer has its fire attack ready. Because that's how we get killed. is when the fire attack staggers us enough that we can't, or that it staggers us enough that we can't walk out without either dying or just taking a ton of damage. But yeah, I think we're at about 1830 or so damage. Oh my god, I got hit because I didn't realize haste wore off. Yep, and then I didn't have haste up fast enough. Plus, I had the wrong armor equipped, so that was just awful. That's the thing. The pattern for fighting this isn't too complicated now that I've kind of gotten to where I think I've learned it. But there are so many little things that can go wrong. Oh my god. Notice I tried not to get hit by it. I was afraid if I ran up on the top barrier of the screen, the north barrier, that I would take collision damage and get locked into the stagger animation. Instead, I walked south, got hit by, I think it was a fire, and got locked into that animation anyway. Okay. This is definitely a fight. But anyway, I think I want to go for 4 more attacks on the body, but it might be 5. It'll probably depend on if I see any crits. If I see any crits, then 4 should definitely be okay. God, haste wore off and I didn't see it. But yeah, if I see any crits, I think 4 attacks should be fine. If I don't, I think I want to go for 5 more, just to be on the safe side. Mind you, if I do kill the flyer, there's a bit of a window, so I might even be able to go for a melee attack against the ground guy and then go for liberate. I don't think I'll try, but that is a possibility. Yeah, so 4 or 5 more attacks onto the body. Then we have to hit the head a few times. Wait, was that only 212 damage? I think it was. I think we did way under like 230 like I was expecting. If I didn't misread that, then that means we definitely want to do 5 hits to be safe. Because I might have been slightly overestimating how much damage we've done to the body. And if so, we definitely need that extra hit in to hedge our margins a little. Oh well, we did get another hit into the body. So we now need 4... yeah. Oh, sorry. We either need 3 hits or 4, depending on how greedy / safe I want to play. Oh my god. Also, I just realized my mouse cursor is on the screen. I am sorry about that. That was from when I was using Notepad to try to track the damage I had done. Yeah, let's recast haste, then I'll do the armor swap trick. Reset our regen rate. Ah! Okay. I don't know that I needed recast haste, but I'm gonna do it to be safe. I was worried that he might attack us and it might wear off. Anyway, I'm gonna run around with this armor equipped for a moment to regen. Alright, then we'll swap armors. And yeah, haste wears off. So now we need haste. We're going for 4 more attacks against the body, then I don't remember how many attacks we need against the head. Oh, we missed. Sorry, I got confused. I thought it hit us. I was like, okay, we got staggered. Now the attack animation will play for our attack. And that's why I didn't react. It took me a second for my brain to, what would you call it, process the fact it said miss. Alright, we do want to swap armors because our regen rate has gone way down. I need haste. I might have screwed this up. I didn't realize haste had worn off. Okay, thank God. We got haste up just in time to dodge that attack. Like a quarter of a second later, we would have got hit, and we would have got hit with our weaker armor, so it would have been for a good amount of damage. Alright. Let's recast haste since I'm sure it's about to wear off. Wait for the head to use the fire attack. Okay. Now we go in. Oh, I'm out of range. No, I'm out of range. Yeah, taking that damage would have been fine if we had been in range to hit him back. But because we weren't, that was super inefficient. We're not going to get another chance to attack for a minute. Yeah, the fact it's so easy not to hit him when we go in is very troubling. Also, I kind of stagger step there to bait out his attack. Okay, we can change armor. Oh shoot, if I change armor, haste might wear out. Yeah, it did. See how haste wore out right as he went to do his second attack? Fortunately, we were far enough away that we still managed to dodge, but if the angles had been different, that could have punished us pretty hard. Also, we took contact damage, and it knocked us back a step, and that's why we wound up out of range of hitting him. That's so unfortunate. Alright. Haste has worn off, but they've both used all their attacks. So we don't need it just yet. We'll need it now, I think. Yeah, a big thing I'm running into is I just can't quite figure out how to hit the body. And that's being a huge problem for us. Okay, so we bait out both of its attacks. Switch armor to reset regen rate. And yes, I am resetting the regen rate even when our energy is very high. The reason being, I figure that way, the next time we use magic, our regen rate will still be really high and we'll get it back pretty quick. Anyway, we need to wait for the fire attack. Fire attack down. No, we're gonna get hit. Oh, thank God we didn't get hit by both, though. Okay. Yeah. Haste wore off. For a second there, I was like, wait, I need to recast haste, and I saw it hadn't wore off, so I was confused, but it was a fraction of a second from what here we go. But yeah, I do think the flyer is actually the easier of the two to hit with the club after all. Which throws me off because I honestly thought it was the other way around. But yeah, a big part is it just moves slower. Okay, we got another hit in. That one was for 230. So that's a good sign, but we are going for 3 more attacks. If we hit it 3 more times, then I will go for the kill on the flyer. Oh my God, I did not... What? I just ran straight into the body. That's fine. I was actually considering going for an attack even though I wasn't at full health. Probably would have been a terrible idea. But anyway, 3 more hits to the body. Then we kill the head. Then we cast Liberate. And we see if my damage tracking has worked out as I'm hoping. By the way, the other option would be to just keep repeating what I'm doing. You don't need to liberate for this fight. If I really wanted to take the time, I could fight it as I've been doing. Oh my God, no! I think the fire attack wasn't ready yet. I got greedy. That was bad, that was bad, that was bad. Okay, haste, haste. Yeah, now we all need to save up energy for pre-raise. But first we also need to cure. We do have the right armor on, right? Yeah. Oh, of course. I forgot. I can tell if we have the right armor on by looking at our max HP. Anyway, this attack pattern that we're doing works completely the same if you don't have the Liberate. You just have to be careful to track your damage very well. And then get it to where each part is one hit away from death. Kill one part, and then run over and hit the other. It works, we're already seeing how much trouble it is with Liberate. It would be way harder without. So. Oh my god, I almost got hit by that fire. That quite possibly would have been a death if I had, by the way. Right, we have enough energy for pre-raise. Now we want to cast haste before we swap armors again. Oh no! I had the wrong armor equipped when I took that hit, so it's even more damage than it would have been otherwise. Oh well. The important thing is we did get pre-raise up, we have haste up, so we're fine for the moment. We will need to cast haste again. I wish there was a way to like permanently have haste up and maybe just have it drain, like lower your energy regeneration rate or something. I mean, it would probably be stupidly OP, but... Okay, shoot. I forgot my numbers real quick. Let me check. The reason I'm just dodging is I am doing a no gun run, and this boss is very difficult to hit, and he can kill me very easily. So I have to be very careful about when I go for my attacks, and I have to make sure I'm at like full health. I have my buffs up. It's a very tedious fight. It is probably the hardest fight in the entire game for a no gun run. Mind you, I only need 3 more attacks on the ground enemy, and I think 4 more attacks on the flyer enemy, and then we win. So while it is very slow and tedious, we are actually pretty close to victory. I'm like 7 attacks away. The problem is just I need to actually make sure I don't die when I go for those attacks. Okay, anyway, right now what we're doing is just letting our energy regenerate. That way it'll be full when we go for an attack, so we have the option to, heal, cast haste, or whatever else we may need to do. Speaking of haste. But yeah, right now you can see my energy bar is less than halfway. I'm just trying to let that reset before I go for my next attack. Also, normally I would be attacking more often than I am. I just got a really bad hit in. Well, took a really bad hit and died. So I had to like reset my energy, reset my health, reset my buffs. So that's why I was able to go for an attack for a while there. But now we are ready to go for a swing. We just need to find the right opportunity. There it is. See? That's 1. We need 2 more swings and we should... Oh god. We are trapped in this corner. I might get hit, even killed here. Oh god, thank god. If the angles would have been a little different there, we could have died. Anyway, we need 2 more attacks on the body, and then we can kill the head. By the way, the big thing about this fight is there's a gimmick where you have to kill both pieces at almost the same time. If you kill one of the enemies and leave the other enemy alive for about 20 seconds, it will revive the dead one. Ah, missed. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for that attack, but I figured we'd give it a shot. Okay, we cast haste, then we'll swap armors, I think. No. We heal. Okay. But yeah, 2 hits on the ground enemy, and I think it's 4 hits on the flying enemy should be enough for us to win the fight. So we're not too far away. It's just, I need to actually land my hits. The big problem I've been running into is a lot of times when I go for an attack, I miss. Alright. So we want to go for an attack. I do need to recast haste first, though, because it is about to wear off. Alright, on my next turn, I'm going to try to attack. Fire attack down. Can I hit him? Yeah, okay. So we need 1 more hit in, and then we should be good to kill the top half, I believe. Alright. But lame attack is down. Can we... he's too close to the flyer. The positioning was bad, otherwise I would have gone for an attack there. Yeah. That wasn't even close to hitting him. Alright, we need to recast haste. Come on, I just need 1 more hit on this ground. Oh, we got hit there, so need to heal. Alright. This is stupid. I could die here. Oh my god. There was like 1 second before the flyer used its attack. If we had got hit by the ground enemy before that happened, we very well could have died. But anyway, that's enough hits for the ground enemy, I hope. If I screwed up my damage tracking, this is gonna suck so much. But anyway, now the goal is to kill the top enemy. I believe we need 4 hits to do that. But first we need to recast haste. Oh, no. I'm gonna get hit here, aren't I? Oh, thank God we didn't get hit by the fire. That was so dumb of me. I didn't wait for its fire attack to go off before going for my attack. I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah. Oh, wasn't in range. It being a flyer makes it hard to tell exactly where to stand. That's 2 attempts that ended in misses. Unfortunate. Let's heal up again. I probably should use full recover instead of cure 3. Or heal 3, not cure 3. Anyway. We're gonna... Ow! No! Oh god! I don't know if I can escape through the right. I think the flame may cut off that path, so we have to go left. Which did cause us to take some contact damage, unfortunately. But yeah, if I had ran to the right to try to dodge there, I think I might have wound up hitting the fire, getting stun locked, and killed. Funny you mentioned that. Liberate is not against the rule of this fight, and we've actually already used it twice. The problem with Liberate is it targets the body parts somewhat at random, and it is very easy for Liberate to kill one body part without killing the other, which would then cause the other one to resurrect the dead body part at full health. Yesterday during my stream, I actually had to quit because that happened, and then I could never get both of their health, the health of both parts even enough to kill them at the same time. So my goal right now is to get one body part low, which is why I was hitting the lower body part. I believe I've dealt about 2,700 damage to the lower half. meaning it should die to a single use of Liberate. Now I'm going to hit the top half until it dies. The idea being, I'll club the top half down, it'll die to the club, then I'll run, or then I'll cast the Liberate, kill the bottom half, and that will be how I get both parts dead at basically the same time, and thus avoid the respawn mechanic. Oh my god, I walked into that. But yeah, this fight is only being the problem it is because of that gimmick with the boss respawning the dead part. If not for that, then yeah, I would have just spammed Liberate and killed it. But yeah, during yesterday's stream, I had a bit of bad RNG with Liberate. I needed to Liberate to hit the top half no more than 4 times. If it hit the top half 3 or 4 times, I would have won the fight. Instead, it hit the top half 5 times, and I then spent the next half hour, I think it was, trying to come back from it and couldn't. So I really don't want to go through that again. That is why I'm not just spamming Liberate right now. Seriously, I didn't check the VOD. I think I was in this fight for something like an hour because I couldn't kill both parts at the same time. So now I'm being much more cerebral. So I can't pronounce words right now. I'm being much more mindful of how much damage I do to each half. And unfortunately, that does mean I can't just spam Liberate yet. But I do think the top half is 4 hits away from death. It tried to get an attack in there. It didn't work. Anyway, yeah. We do want to heal again real quick. And then we go for... I think we need haste again, actually. Yeah, we will. But yeah, the next time the flyer uses its fire attack, I'm going to try to hit it. I can't. The lower half was right there ready to hit me if I tried. Okay. Let's see. Bait him into attacking again. Can we get a hit in? Oh, yes, we got there. All right. So I think that is 2 or 3 more hits until the top half dies. Once the top half dies, we cast a Liberate, and I believe that will give us the win. That is the current plan. Oh my god. Why did I go for an attack there? That was so stupid of me. Oh my god. It was closer to death than I thought. Okay, now we go Liberate. Please tell me I track damage well enough and this kills. If this doesn't kill, I'm so screwed. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Thank God. You have no idea how frustrated I was with this fight yesterday. Oh my god. But yeah, you asked why I was running around so much and not, dodging, not using Liberate. That was why. I was setting it up so I could very specifically kill the boss in that manner. Because if I didn't kill in that manner, it would just resurrect the dead parts. Ooh. I don't know where the elevator is, so this may take me a second, but... Oh my god, we actually did it. I was so worried I had messed up my damage tracking. And technically I did. I thought we needed like 2 or 3 hits to kill the top half, but we only needed 1. Fortunately, our energy bar was full, so it was fine. Wait. I know, I need to trust Aya's mitochondria more. I don't know. Like, I think I'm a regular human. I think my mitochondria might be controlled by Eve if I tried doing that. I trust my mitochondria and they like tell me to jump off a bridge or something. Anyway, now we want to find the elevator and go back down. There are no enemies since we killed the boss, fortunately, so this is a good moment to unwind. I wish I could remember where the elevator was, but I was in that fight for a while, so I completely forgot what the layout of this floor is. Ah, here it is. Sweet. But yeah, if you ever want to struggle, try beating that boss without like worrying about how much damage you deal. If you have a gun with like burst or target all, it's not so bad because you can just hit both parts at the same time. But yeah, if you want to just spam liberate over and over, you can, depending on luck, screw yourself over and wind up in that fight for like a couple hours, hoping liberate will eventually kill both at the same time. But yeah, hmm, not gonna lie, it feels a little anticlimactic. I struggled so much with that fight yesterday, and then today, while it was slow, it was actually quite manageable. So feels a little weird, but that's a big thing. There are 77 floors. Every 10 floors is a boss, and you can't leave the building between for those 10 floors unless you are willing to just backtrack and lose progress. Basically, each boss drops a key that lets you use the elevator up to the floor it was on. So the idea is you do 10 floors, fight a boss, get the key from them, leave, save, do whatever else you need, then come back. This is optional content, of course. We're in New Game Plus mode. It's kind of like the bonus super dungeon. Personally, I actually recommend people don't do this dungeon. I don't think it's worth it for a normal person. If you're interested in challenge runs and stuff like that, or just want to try it out, go ahead. But it can definitely be very grindy. So for the average person, my recommendation is just don't bother. I don't know if you've played this game before or not. The main game is way more fun than this, of course, but I'm really enjoying my challenge run of no guns. And for what it's worth, I actually am trying not to use liberate much. It's not against the rules, so I'm not banning it, but it does feel like it cheapens things sometimes to do or to use it. So, all right, right. He has eight, correct? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Not yeah, tune up. What we want to do here? Oh wait, I have to select the card, not the armor. We're going to give him two more rare cards. That will unlock what is called a toolbox, which will give us infinite tools, and that is exciting for me. Infinite tools means we can break down all of our weapons and armors, transfer all the stats from them to other items. So once you get the toolbox, you can basically max out all of your items, except if you do, sometimes it's better to wait for certain items because when you use a regular tool, you can only transfer one thing, and usually that will be the stats. But any extra effects, like you can see auto potion, bonus inventory sprays, that sort of stuff, none of that can be transferred with a tool if you transfer the stats. Basically, it's one mod or the stats, nothing more. There are super tools that let you transfer something without destroying the item. And once we give him two more of these rare trading cards, he will actually give us a super toolbox, which will give us infinite super tools. I hope I got the counts right. Yeah, here he's he's so happy that we gave him so many rare cards. He's giving us the toolbox. Nice, or toolkit rather. Okay. Oh wait, no, we need to talk to him now. I have been saving a bunch of items. Oh wait. Oh, you tried it out, but the first enemies were too OP. Yeah, I get that. Learning how to get good value out of your stats can let you do the building on your first try. But a lot of people definitely do recommend doing multiple playthroughs of the game before trying the Chrysler building. So I totally get that. But yeah, now that we have the toolkit, we can just start breaking down all of these weapons. Mind you, I am in a no gun run, so it feels a little silly to do this, but I just like seeing the numbers go up. But yeah, see, 999 tools. I'm going to use my regular tools though, just to get them out of my inventory. So yeah, we'll just start transferring all of our stats over. Actually, you know what? I'll probably wait to do this. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how long it'll take, and I do want to get rid of the tools so they're not in our inventory. So let's at least use up the tools we have, and then I can probably stop. At some point, I'll go back through and break down all of my weapons just to see how high the stats would be if I did, because I think that would be funny. We don't want to consume anything with special effects like this that has bursts. We want to save those in case we decide we want to use those special effects later. Uh, but yeah, I think that's double command, which is really nice. But yeah, this game can feel a lot more difficult than it is when you're new and you don't know it too well. But once you play it a bunch of times like I have, it can actually get quite easy. So it's a little difficult for me to give advice because it comes down a lot to like how experienced are you with the game. The biggest thing I would recommend is try to learn how to dodge. You don't need to put a ton of effort into it, but whenever you kill an enemy, you get bonus points, and the amount of bonus points you get is affected by how many times you got hit by that enemy. So if an enemy hits you a bunch of times, you will probably not get any bonus points from it. And that will kind of limit how many stats you get over time. If you get better at like killing things without getting hit, you can wind up getting a lot more bonus points, which will make you a lot stronger in the long run. Yeah. Okay. I think that is good. Let's just go save and then go back to the Chrysler building. Oh, wait. Let me update my stream title just to note that I did kill the cockroach. And so now we are going up to floor 60 is going to be the goal anyway. Going for floor 60. All right. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize how bonus points work, and they wind up getting hit so much they don't earn many bonus points throughout the run. And so their gun might be like 20 points or deal 20 points less damage per attack. The way it works is every 100 bonus points you earn can be converted into 1 point in something like weapon attack, item space, stuff like that. You know, you say that and it's interesting. I kind of like Parasite Eve too, but I'm so bad at it, it's hard for me to judge it too well. But it was such a wild genre shift. The only thing I can think of is the original Parasite Eve is such a different game from almost any other game there is. I think they were nervous, and then they saw the success of games like Resident Evil, and just for, well, we can make it more like those, and that'll increase the chance of it selling well. Yeah, it's actually funny in this game. Having more shots is bad. I think having two shots means each shot deals like 60 damage, 60% of your max damage. 3 shots makes each attack deal like 41% of your max damage. And then after that, the damage per bullet just drops so much that you don't actually get more damage by having more shots. So you actually will deal as much or more damage by having a gun with like 3 shots than having a gun with 5 or 7. But it'll cost you fewer bullets and cause you to be locked in place for less time. Yeah, it's a very unintuitive thing that most people don't realize on a first playthrough. I certainly didn't. I did my first playthrough with a gun, I think that had 10 shots on it. And I kept running out of bullets. And I was like, why am I struggling so much? And then I actually gave up. I didn't beat the game. And then I replayed it like a month later. And before I did, I looked online and I read up a little bit. And that's where I found out that the number of shots actually doesn't help you deal more damage. Switching to like a handgun or machine gun with 2 or 3 bullets made life so much simpler. Another big thing was realizing that pistols and machine guns are probably the best weapons to use. Rifles are nice in that they have really good range, but they are way slower than the guns, the pistol and handgun, or pistol and handgun, same thing, than the pistol and machine gun. So you are almost always better off using the pistol and machine gun unless you need the rifle's long range to avoid getting hit. Like the spider boss on the hospital. I can see wanting a rifle there instead of a handgun or a machine gun because it lets you stand so much farther away. Alright. I'm a little nervous, but we did just save, so I don't know how strong the enemies on these floors are going to be. It's either floor 50 or floor 60 where squirrels start spawning, and those had me worried. Okay, rats? I wasn't expecting those. These are, I think, what are they called? Like rat men? Oh my god. Oh, they actually... Wow, These guys hit so much harder than the ones that came before did. Let's use haste real quick. I'm used to be able to just kill everything in 2 hits at most. Ah! And most of the time be able to just face tank their damage and not worry about it. So, kind of develop bad habits, I suppose. Ah! No! Ah! Oh my god, the rat survived another turn? That's actually... Okay. These enemies are actually a problem. Of course, part of the reason they are is I entered the floor at half health with no energy. So that's kind of on me. Okay. With 1 down, this should become a lot easier. Especially since it was the fastest of them. Oh. Took collision damage of all things there. Okay. Let's use haste again. I'll armor swap to reset my mana regenerate. And then hopefully that will get my energy up high enough that I can actually like heal as needed in fights. The big problem I was running into in this fight is just I didn't have the energy to heal or do anything else. Yeah, let's keep using haste. Okay. Oh! Oh my god, I just walked into that enemy. That's so embarrassing. Oh, let's just kill him. I can heal outside of combat, I think. I thought that would bounce a lot closer to him than it did. Okay, some ammo. By the way, if you don't know why I'm swapping armor like that, the reason is in this game, as the battle progresses, your mana gen slower, but every time you die and revive or you swap armor, that regen rate resets. So by swapping my armor, I can get my energy to refill faster. Oh right, I'm on floor 51 now. I saw it listed as floor 50. But yeah, these enemies are a lot more dangerous than any of the enemies we faced so far. I guess it would depend on what type of game you're looking for. Personally, I wouldn't say games like, say, Final Fantasy VII are must-plays. Uh, but depending on what type of game you like, there could be a lot of answers. One game I highly recommend just for the experience is a game called what is it? Koudelka? It's like Koudelka, I think. I don't know why I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's a game that I would watch a playthrough of, maybe not play it necessarily. It can be a kind of slower game, so you might not enjoy playing it, but it has some of the best voice acting I've seen in any game. And that's not any PlayStation game. I just mean, even now, 20 plus years after it came out, it still has better voice acting than like almost any other game I've ever experienced. Chrono Cross, if you like RPGs with different game mechanics, definitely recommend. And Chrono Cross is interesting. A lot of people weren't big on it being so different from Chrono Trigger, which it was the sequel to. But it has one of the most unique combat systems I've ever seen. And I think it's worth playing just to experience that. Twisted Metal 2, I think, is definitely a must-play, assuming it's the type of game you like. I think it's one of the best games on the console. But it is kind of like a vehicle shooter game, so that might not be for you. Thinking about what else. Yeah, people keep telling me I need to play Grandia, but I haven't tried it, so I can't say. Yeah, it's one where, without knowing what kind of genre you prefer, it's hard to say. Plus, I'm kind of in the middle of the fight. But let's see if I can think of any other ones that really jump out at me. Oh my god. The contact damage is real, man. I thought he would move a little bit closer and my attack would hit him. Yeah. Let's see. I think we just face tank it and hit him. Okay, we have enough energy to heal up that from combat, so I think that's fine. Okay, now that I'm not in battle, let's see if I can think of any other games I would say are genuine must-plays. Xenogears gets a lot of hype, and not to bash it, but for a lot of people it's not worth playing. It's a very slow and plodding game. The hype is all about the story, so if you enjoy an RPG that takes its time, has a big, complex story, then it's definitely well worth playing. Front Mission 3, if you like strategy games, is a great game. Nothing else is coming to mind. That feels silly. It's definitely one of those ones I'd probably have to sit down and think about. Oh, there was one game. What was it? Shoot, I can't think of what it was called. Oh wait, no, it was. I'm thinking of a PlayStation 2 game. On PlayStation 2, there's an RPG called Valkyrie Profile 2. I cannot recommend that game enough. It is the sequel to a PlayStation 1 game called Valkyrie Profile. I've only played it one time. People say it's a really great game. I thought it was good, but I wouldn't consider it a must play. But Valkyrie Profile 2, definitely a must play. I would recommend everyone give it a shot. Yeah, I don't know anything about Grandia, and I guess there's multiple ones, so like Grandia 1, 2, or whatever. But people have been trying to get me to play the series, saying it's really good. Uh, so if we're not going to restrict ourselves by genre, oh, what was it? Like Jet Moto, I think it was called. Yeah, I think it was like Jet Moto 2. It's a racing game. Absolutely love it. It's a great racing game. Mega Man Legends, another amazing game. Nothing else is really like it. It also has a sequel, Mega Man Legends 2. I would consider those at least one of them must play. I don't think you have to play both. But, I mean, I would recommend you do so. But, like, if you play one and you decide you don't like it, then okay, then maybe don't play the other. But yeah, it has such a neat art style, surprisingly good voice acting, and just a great, like, aesthetic and general vibe that I think is really awesome. The combat in the first game is a bit undercooked. The second game does improve on that. Trying to think of like a different genre. Trying to pick like a couple games per genre. No other. I can't remember any shooters. Oh, Metal Gear Solid, the first one. Definitely recommend it. It's an amazing game. And I particularly recommend going into that one blind. There are some like fights and things in it that are genuinely surprising and really cool. But if you know them in advance, it takes away some of the fun. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 I absolutely love. I'm honestly not much of a fan of the rest of the Metal Gear Solid games, so I wouldn't recommend them. Some people really love them, and if they're your jam, then by all means play them, but the first one is the only one I would just outright recommend to everyone, no matter what. Mega Man X4, I have not gotten to X4 yet. I bought the, what was it called, like Mega Man X Legacy Collection that had 1 through 6. And there's some sort of bug that caused like massive slowdown in 1 through 3, so I haven't been able to play them. Now, I have beaten Mega Man X several times growing up, but I wanted to try 2 and 3 before I went to 4. That said, Mega Man Legends is nothing like the Mega Man games. It's a 3D adventure game. Vaguely in the form of something like Zelda. Like Ocarina of Time, that open world exploration type idea. And Mega Man actually has a surprising number of spin-off games. Like there's the Battle Network franchise, which honestly I think is bad and I don't understand the hype for. Mega Man Battle Network 1 through 6 are some of the just worst design games I've ever seen in terms of like the story progression and such. Which sucks because their combat system is great. I absolutely love it. And if I could just like play a good RPG with that combat system, I would be thrilled. But I genuinely struggle to just play through them. And then a lot of people are like, oh, well, they get better on the post-game so just grind for 50 hours, then they get good. I'm like, that sounds miserable, no thanks. You know, the combat system, oh, those are squirrels. Those are squirrels. This is what I was afraid of. We are in such bad shape. or such a. Ah! Yeah, I think we just die. Every time the squirrel hits you, it can cause confusion. Oh my god, we're about to die. It can cause confusion, which makes movement very difficult because each button gets assigned to a different direction and it's random each time, so you can't even predict it. Oh my god, I actually kind of got the movement right and I still missed. Ah, can I kill it? Oh, okay. I need to heal. Okay. Yeah, I was afraid squirrels would be on this floor. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. Ah! And I didn't have energy to cast Liberate at the start of the fight, and now I'm needing to use it to heal, so... God, I can't figure out which direction to press to try to get to the thing. Yeah, we're going to use our last medicine for here with auto heal, I think. Yep. Okay. Do we have energy for hate? Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make it to floor 60 as is. I think we need to go grind another level to get some bonus points and hopefully have that help us get a bit stronger. You can see I'm just kind of like running in random directions half the time. So difficult. By the way, we got an armor that had status ailment protections on it, but it protects against every ailment except for confusion. Oh my god. See what I mean? Ah! Okay. Well, we had a revive, so we're not dead. But yeah, I was really hoping these wouldn't spawn till floor 60. But, okay. So it looks like they run away very easily. So maybe we can get through by just hitting them right at the start of the fight before they hit us and making them run away. Like, that might work. I don't know. Like, we are clearly very weak and we're gonna be struggling a lot. So, yeah. Okay, anyway. But yeah, if we have enough energy at the start of a battle, we can just start with Liberate, and that should resolve the issue. But we don't have energy. Mind you, if I do game over, what I can do is go like to the hospital, museum, whatever, fight a couple of fights, heal to full, and then also make sure we start with full parasite energy. Part of the reason we've had to use so many healing items is auto heal keeps kicking in because we just don't have the mana to heal ourselves. But yeah, I would love to try the later Mega Man X games. I've only played, I think, I beat X, the first one on Super Nintendo, several times as a kid. And then, I don't think I ever beat Mega Man X2, but I remember playing it. I think I got like halfway through it. I think I remember, was there like a weird bird-like enemy in the second game as one of the bosses where you're in the desert, I think? And the battle arena is really wide. I think it was. And then like it would jump into the background periodically. It's been so long I can't really remember. We found protection against confusion? Oh, wow. What is the other effect on this though? I Oh, but it decreases attack power. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I think we moved this over with a. Oh, we don't have a super tool. So I would give up one defense and one magic defense, but honestly, as inefficient as that is, and as much as I hate it, we're gonna do it. Losing a couple stat points sucks, but whatever. At least this way, the next time we fight a squirrel, we might not immediately get wrecked. Oh, we have no energy, so I can't even heal. This is scary. Now, the good news is mimics have a very straightforward attack pattern. Oh god. I say it before I immediately get hit by it. To be fair, I did say straightforward, not necessarily easy. We need a little bit more energy for full recover. Okay. One more hit should kill it, I believe. So yeah, let's kill the full. Ah, no, I actually managed to avoid that attack. I thought I was about to get hit again. Okay, cool. Use the AoE attack. Right now, I'm just trying to get my energy up for the next fight. That's why I'm not just killing it right away. I would very much like to have enough energy at the start of the next fight to just immediately open with Liberate. But I think we have enough energy for now. Yeah, if I could just open the next fight with Liberate, then it shouldn't matter if there's the squirrel. Even if we don't kill the squirrel, we will at least make it run away. That said, killing the squirrel is actually really good. They are worth a ton of bonus points. If you kill a squirrel without getting hit by anything, you will gain 250 bonus points from that one enemy. Wait, oh, okay. And for context, 250... Oh god, we got hit by something. I didn't catch what. But for context, 250 bonus points means 2.5 points of damage, 2.5 points of armor, 2.5 points of whatever that you want. But yeah, I think we are going to have to grind up to at least one more level. Oh my god, 3 hits didn't kill this thing? I think we probably will have to grind at least one more level. Both for the stats getting that one level will get me, and for any bonus points we've earned since our last level. Oh, we stole more ammo. How great. One unfortunate thing is we were stealing a lot of healing items. Yep. We were stealing a lot of healing items on the previous 10 floors, so I didn't think we needed to save a bunch. But it turns out we're not stealing a lot of healing items on these floors, so I'm actually kind of getting screwed because I don't have enough. I burned all my healing items, and I just kind of assumed I would keep stealing a ton like we were on the previous 10 floors. And yeah, we're not. No, unfortunately you can't transfer anything from guns to clubs, which is why my attack power is so low and I have so many guns stockpiled back at the police station. I can't move anything, including just their attack power, over to the club. If you could, it would make things so much easier. Of course, the battle I start with almost full energy is the battle there are no squirrels in. I have to use some of my energy, squirrels show up, and I game over. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty sure that would happen. As soon as I saw the squirrels, I was like, yeah, I don't think I make it. It's fine, though. We're kind of expecting that. What I want to go do is level up to 35. It'll increase my HP pool, my attack power, my defense. But also what it'll do is it will give me all the bonus points we earn on the last 10 floors, which will get us more stats. Plus, if I go to the museum and fight things, I'll be able to steal some healing items That way I won't be like super low on them when I go there. So unfortunately, we do gotta grind a little. Mind you, if I wanted to, I could grind a lot more to get way stronger. For instance, this is only the first New Game Plus mode run. I could have just beat the game a couple times to get a bunch of extra stats. I decided not to do that to see if I could beat the game or beat the Chrysler building without needing to. Similarly, you can grind to level 99. It doesn't take as long as you might think, and at the same time, it takes forever. There's a weird thing in this game where you need, I think, a total of 750,000 experience to hit level 38. And you're like, oh god, getting to level 99 must take forever. If you need 750,000 to hit that level, you probably need to get, I don't know, 10 million or more to get to level 99. Nope. After you get to level 38, every level after that only requires, I think it's like 5,000 experience. It's some like trivial number by comparison. So if you do ever grind to level 38, once you hit 38, you might as well just start doing some more battles because you turbo level so fast. Yeah. Right now, our plan is mostly just fight enough battles to hit level 35 and try to steal some items. Because even Medicine 1 sound good to me right now. Also, I'm not even trying to dodge. I'm enjoying the fact that I can kill these enemies without worrying about it. When I go back to the Chrysler building, I'm going to have to focus a ton on dodging. "27 or 24 hours to break through the 37 wall." Dear God, man. Where were you grinding? Just in the... Well, I assume the museum, since that's the only spot with good returns. I don't know, like, what room would be the best to grind in here? I guess you would want to find, like, 2 rooms that have good encounters in them, and then run back and forth between just those 2 rooms. I imagine that's, like, the best way to grind it out. Not sure. Alright. Oh, we one-shot it. Nice. Okay. More one-shots. The warehouse sweet spot? Oh, yeah, that... Didn't think about warehouse. You could probably get a lot of bonus points. Don't they give a lot less experience, though? I mean, I guess if you... It doesn't matter too much. Well, maybe it does. I'm not sure if you really care about how much experience you're getting if you're trying to get that much bonus points. The bonus points probably matter more. I don't know if enemies can respawn in this room. I know there's a special battle in this room, but I don't know if they ever respawn after, like regular version of them. But yeah, 35,000 bonus points. That would be nutty. I'm trying to remember how many bonus points those enemies give. I'm wondering if I could like kill them quickly enough. Would it maybe be worth grinding out bonus points before I level up? Yeah, it looks like these guys don't respawn. Because I am at level 34, which means I only have 35, 36, 37 to get bonus points from, unless I really want to grind a lot of XP. So, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely not a room we want to grind in, because these enemies are worth way less XP than the other ones of the museum. You get a few bonus points at least. No, I don't want to. But yeah, I'd love to find 2 rooms like back to back in here where you could fight a bunch of like Prodons and or Armadillos. Those are the main ones. I know there's a room where I can fight up to 3 Trodons. I don't know which room it is. Wait. Ah, shoot. Was it this room here? I don't remember if this room spawns 2 or 3 Tridons. Probably only 2. But yeah, a big part is also where the area you have to walk to trigger the fight is. Some rooms you have to walk like really far into them to trigger a fight. And so of course that causes a problem. Wait, am I crazy? To me that looks like a door. I think I'm just crazy. Okay. Now right now I'm not worried about grinding, so I don't care if I'm a little inefficient. I'm just running through rooms kind of at random looking for fights. Oh, this was Triceratops room fight. Yeah, that was fun. But man, 35k bonus points, that would be so insane. Oh shoot, this is where you head to finish the game. Not gonna lie, a small part of me wants to just beat the game. Then, grind back through the whole area and then go back to the Chrysler building. Those enemies on floor 60 were kicking my butt. Yeah. So I think you go up those stairs to progress the plot, if I remember it. Oh, we actually one-shot it? I think it's only on a crit that we do, but still, that's cool. Yep, it's only on a crit that we one-shot it. We're only stealing medicine once, that sucks. Let's heal the full real quick. 1, 2, and 3. I do love that the armadillos get more of those spins the fewer enemies there are on the screen. I think that's such a cool little thing they put into the game. Right. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. So I'm curious, why did you decide to grind there for? Was it just to see how strong you could get, or did you have something specific in mind? With 35,000 bonus points, I can't even imagine how strong you would have gotten. I was hoping to trigger this fight again. Actually, now there's a question I'm not sure. Is it better if you're trying to grind to walk between 2 rooms that both have encounters? Or just 1 room? Like quickly enter and exit this room? And then, or I'm sorry, exit and then immediately re-enter. Like, if I'm trying to grind, should I even bother walking up into this room to check for a fight? Granted, I know in this case that room can't have a fight, but like in theory, is it better to grind 1 room or to grind 2 rooms that are like back to back? I don't know. The whole reason I'm fighting this room is we had only fought 1 encounter here, so the encounter rate would still be pretty high. As I imagine most people in the stream know, but just in case they don't, when you defeat an encounter in a screen, it reduces the encounter rate for that screen down to a minimum of 10%. Oh, you're curious about capping the bonus points? I get that. Did you find a cap or no? I imagine there must be some cap at some point, but I have no idea what it might be. Oh, what really sucks is the crab boss on floor 60 is probably pretty manageable. Other than maybe the raw stats might be a problem, but like in terms of attack pattern, it should be much simpler than the cockroaches that we killed. Oh. God! Yeah, I'm not getting bonus points from this fight. Okay, got hit because why not? Yeah, I'll just say thank it. I don't care anymore. Well, that was the medicine too. That's slightly. Hey, cool. We did level up. Oh, wow. Look at how high our max HP just went. That's awesome. So we only got 1,000 bonus points. That's not a lot. 87k at the moment, level 40. Yeah, I guess if you get to the point where like you can't grind more bonus points because of how high level you are, you could always just beat the game, go to New Game Plus, and then repeat the process. But yeah, that's what I was just about to talk about. You might hit level 99, but you can always start a new playthrough, and I believe the bonus points carry over. Anyway, I would kind of like to increase my defenses because I was taking a lot of damage, but I do really want to kill these guys in like 2, maybe 3 hits at the most. I do not want to have to take 4 hits to kill regular enemies. Anyway, it looks like we are up to 763 as our max HP because we leveled up. That's cool. Switching armor, of course, gives us the 15% raise. Oh my god, it would take 101,000 more experience to level up. You know, I'm kind of regretting not just going and farming bonus points like you did. Also, wait, which room was the sweet spot you were referring to? I'm trying to remember the warehouse layout. Which rooms would have had the best? I assume it's not the catwalk because there's only 2 spiders there. I don't think that would be particularly great. I deactivated the alarm, but it's not opening. Oh, I didn't bring Clamp's key with me. That's hilarious. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'll save in a second save file and then go back to the Chrysler building, see how it feels. And then if I decide I need to grind BP or whatever else, I can always reload. Now, I genuinely forgot that I don't have Clamp's key on me because I was spending all my time in the Chrysler building. That's funny. Actually, it's the one with the special scene with the rat. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can't go out of this room through any of the other doors. That's fine. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, see, I think that would probably suck for me in this challenge run because that has the really fast rat, and they are such a pain to try to kill with a club. I don't know if there's a better spot I could grind for bonus points or not, but wait, no, this isn't the way we want to go. We want to go north. But yeah, anyway, we got a level, which gave us a decent amount of HP. We'll have increased our defenses, our attack a little, and we got 1,000 bonus points so we can get, plus 10 damage. I don't know if that's going to make much difference for floors 60 through, or 50 through 60. I don't know why I kept saying it the other way. But hopefully it will. Also, we do have some more healing items, even though we didn't get many of the higher tier ones. But maybe that'll help a little too. But yeah, grinding bonus points with the club sucks because you have to get so close to enemies, it can be hard not to get hit by them. But once you get to the point where you one-shot them, it's not so bad. Also, if we wanted, we could grind defense. I wonder. No, because the defense we would grind is physical defense. I think the squirrels deal magic damage. But yeah, I am tempted to go fight the King Amoeba and steal a bunch of defense ups from it. That would be slow, but it would probably be the easiest way to get like permanent stat increases. And even if it doesn't help with damage against the squirrels, it would help it for damage against everything else, especially like contact damage. Wait, this isn't the way I want to go, is it? No. So I've been talking and reading chat, so I kind of lost track of where I'm at in the museum and how to get out. Yeah, here's where I want to go. But yeah, I'm not going to grind for now. I'm just going to go back to the police department. Do I need to pick up any items? I don't remember. I mean, more healing items wouldn't be the worst, but no. But no, I think what I am going to do real quick is just see how easy or hard grinding the King Amoeba would be, just out of curiosity. I don't plan to do it, but I want to just get an idea. Because as far as I know, it's the only enemy in the entire game you can grind permanent stat gains off of. Unfortunately, you do sometimes steal a tool instead of the defense +1, but yeah, the biggest thing is, oh, wait. What am I, wait, I don't even need to come back here. What am I doing? I'm stupid, sir. Anyway, I'm gonna run over to the hospital. I'll save there, and I will save in a separate file. That way, if I want to go back and grind before leveling up, I can potentially get a ton of bonus points. Yeah, that's why I wanted to come back, is I was thinking about, I don't have to swap my weapon anymore. Plus, I put tons of stats in it. Also, I love that Maeda is here, even though he was at the museum and we just saw him like in a room that exploded because Eve caused an explosion. So like he jumped out a window in the museum and then he ran over here so he could stand outside and talk to us. Kind of funny. But yeah, the last time I tried fighting him to see how grinding stat gains against him would go, he was still dealing decent damage to us, and we had to swap clubs because I needed to use the club 2 to steal, and then I would switch back to the club 3 for damage, and that was a pretty tedious process. But I would be curious to see how it goes now. I don't know if we one-shot him. Actually, if we one-shot him, that could be a bad thing. It might be better to like two-shot him, that way we don't like accidentally kill him before we get a chance to steal. Okay, yeah, we one-shot him. +1 defense. Of course, with the encounter rate going down to like 10%, it would suck to do this, but if we can consistently steal when we kill him, like we don't hit him without stealing, this would probably be a reasonably fast spot to grind some stats. Now, I'll admit, I did not expect to one-shot him. I guess we are much higher level than I was the last time I got here. Oh, I could have just killed him before he acted. I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you do steal tools, and we don't need any more of those. Man, if I could get 2 more rare trading cards and then leave the Chrysler building, that would be amazing. Because then I could get the super toolkit. I guess, actually, now that I'm thinking about it... Oh, wait, never mind. I was going to say maybe it would be better to not kill him, just steal and then run away, but I forgot. You can't run away from this battle. You have to kill him. But yeah. Yeah, if the encounter rate's 10%, I do feel like this would take forever. So I don't think it's worth doing. No, to be fair, in the process, you would actually get some bonus points. I don't remember how much she's worth off the top of my head, but... Did I not fight him enough times to lower to 10%? Or am I just getting lucky and fighting him way more than I would expect? I actually thought I was close enough to hit him and I wasn't. That was funny. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to fight him every 3 or so times I enter the room, then it actually is worth grinding this for a minute. I mean, that could have just been good RNG, but... But yeah, we fought him 3 times while entering the room, like, what? I think that was my 8th time entering or so. Yeah, if we go like 4 or 5 times without seeing them, then I'm gonna leave because I don't want to grind a bunch right now. I want to go back and kill monsters. I'm trying to think of enemies I can steal good healing items from. That's the big thing for me right now. Most of the healing items I stole in the museum suck. But yeah, if I would have realized that the floor 51 through 60 enemies wouldn't have healing items to steal, I would have actually farmed the previous floors before I killed the roach boss. And like stocked up on a bunch of them and then taken them back to the police department. So that was my bad. Okay, yeah, it looks like the encounter rate's low enough that this would take forever. Well, no, I mean, we got in another fight in what, like 5 enters? That's not bad, actually. Yeah, without haste, I don't know how to dodge that attack. I don't know if it's possible to do it reliably or not. Okay. So yeah, 21 if I don't get hit, and then 10 if I do, because I should never get hit more than once. I guess it's not bad. Also, thank you. How many bonus points did the enemies in the warehouse that you were grinding give you? Let's see, that's 1. I'm gonna keep track of how many times I have to enter before I fight him again. Mostly because I'm genuinely surprised that I got 4 fights against it this quickly. Oh, actually, that's a question I was wondering. Do you know how much health the squirrels have? Because I'm curious if I can open up battles with Liberate and one-shot squirrels. Because I know if you hit them and you don't kill them, they tend to run away. And they are worth so much bonus points, or so many bonus points, I'd love to kill a few of them. I think I actually downloaded the Brady guides, so I could look it up myself if I remember where I saved it on my PC. Okay, yeah. I would say this has dropped in... The encounter rate has dropped low enough that it is not worth me doing this right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing this. Okay. But yeah, if you want to, you can just keep doing that over and over. Farm as many defense plus 1s as you want. 104 for 2 spiders and a rat. Okay, yeah, that is a ton for 1 fight. Even with the encounter rate dropping to 10% or so, that would still mean you basically get 10 bonus points every time you enter the room. I do think I might want to look up where a good spot is to grind for experience in the museum, like which room is best. Oh my god, I can't believe I got hit by that. Okay, we did steal medicine, I guess. Okay. But yeah, now we go back to the Chrysler building. That was mostly just a diversion to see what the farming of offense is like. But yeah, having to leave and enter a room 10 times on average for a fight means grinding could take a long time. I don't know that I will do it. I might just try to muscle my way through these next 10 floors. But yeah, I do think if I muscle my way through these next 10 floors, I should be able to beat the crab boss. I don't know how high his stats are, so I am a little worried about that part of it. Like, in terms of raw numbers, he might be a big threat. But in terms of his attack patterns, even if he's faster than the one in the warehouse... Wait, did not mean to come here. I do like that the same 3 cops are still guarding the crime scene, though. That's fun. But even if the crab is faster than the one in the warehouse is, and I imagine it probably is, I don't think that is a big deal. I think the only real issue is going to be how fast does it move and how many times can I actually get my attacks in or not. Also, a small part of me wants to go back to the sewers and use the Liberate on the bats. It's such a childish thing, but those bats gave me enough problems that part of me is like, I have Liberate now. We were talking about grinding. I could just run back to the sewers, open a battle with Liberate, and one-shot every bat. That would be kind of fun. Wait, now I'm actually curious because I don't remember. If you run away from a battle, do you have to leave and re-enter to re-trigger the fight, or can you re-trigger the fight immediately? I don't remember offhand. The reason I was wondering about that is it might be if you don't have to leave the screen, you could just immediately re-trigger the fight. That might be a nice way to steal some healing items if I can find any areas that have like medicine threes I can steal. Anyway, the important thing here is we are entering this floor 51 when we get there with pretty much full health and full energy. Yeah, we've already been in that one. Whereas last time we entered it with like half health and no energy. So it was, much easier for us to run through our healing items. Here, hopefully we can just keep our numbers up and not run into issues. Iguana, yeah. The Oh, you didn't include the Trodons. I think the Trodons are worth like 3,000. But yeah, the big thing for grinding experience is finding like the best room to do it in. Because you would want Trodons and maybe like Armadillos. Because they are the ones that give the most experience, I think. Or I guess Pillbugs, not Armadillos, if you want to call them that. Yeah, Scorpions technically give a good amount of experience, but you can only fight them in very specific rooms, I believe, and they can only be fought like by themselves. I don't remember if it's possible to ever fight anything else with them. But yeah, ideally, like you would find a room with like something like 3 Trodons, and that's the fight you would look for. Yeah. After the stream, I may look on like GameFAQs, see if anyone's posted a topic about where they grinded XP or something. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see if Liberate will one-shot both of them. If it does, this will be amazing. Yeah, at some point I do want to do this challenge run again, but never use the Liberate. It would be so much harder, and I'm sure I would probably do multiple playthroughs. I wouldn't do it on my first New Game Plus. Oh, wow. We only killed one of the squirrels with Liberate? Dang. Okay. I honestly thought we'd kill both. Wait, Troodon is only 1,500? And no worry, I get what you meant by the name. I forget whose stream it was, but you might have been in there, actually. Somebody called it a pill bug. And I said its official name is armadillo, or I said it's actually an armadillo, and they said, same thing. I thought that was funny. Oh, that's right. I don't know why I was thinking 3,000. 3,000 is because in the first playthrough of the game, you'll often fight 2 Troodons at a time. So the fight is like over 3,000 XP. It's not the individual Troodon, it was the whole fight. Okay, yeah. That I don't know why I got that mixed up, but yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Troodons, armadillos. Oh, you called it a raptor. That's why I didn't get it. Okay, yeah. I got you. But yeah, so you want fights with maybe. I don't think you want pterodactyls because I don't think they can spawn in fights with as many enemies. I think like with a pterodactyl, you'll usually only fight 2 enemies if it's a regular playthrough, like first game, and then new game plus they might spawn 3. Actually, no, that would be fine then, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, God. I just need to hit the squirrel one time, make it flee. Problem is confusion. It's so frustrating. This is the only game I can think of where confusion genuinely gives me trouble. Oh, we stole a revive. Nice. Wait, it didn't run away? I'm used to them running away as soon as I hit them. God, no, stop! Revive! Ah! No! God! It's so frustrating! In almost every other game I've played, confusion just inverts your controls, so it's really easy to deal with, because it's just, my mind can easily be like, oh, up becomes down, right becomes left, whatever. Like, I can conceptualize that. Oh my god, please just run away, you stupid freaking squirrel. No, I don't want to hit the armadillo instead. This, I'm getting hit so many times, this is horrible. Okay, we actually got a kill on it. Granted, that kill doesn't mean a lot, because we got hit so many times that we're not going to earn anywhere near as many bonus points as I would like. But yeah, normally if you can kill the squirrels quickly and not get hit a ton, it's great because you get 250 bonus points apiece. Oh my god. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to kill one of these things. And then we are going to go ahead and just wait things out to grind our energy up to full. Because I used so many items here, that was horrible. The good news is we did find out that you can steal revives from squirrels, so that was cool. I just wish the squirrel would have ran away. It's so funny to say, but I genuinely wish it would have ran away instead of this gun. And yeah, we just used all of our medicine 4s. Because auto heal automatically uses your highest tier ones. Which is fine, but it just sucks that we have none now. Okay. So we're going to try to make sure we enter the next fight with full energy. That way, if there are any squirrels, we can immediately liberate and hopefully kill them right at the start of the fight. We don't know that we will succeed in killing them, but even if we don't, maybe it'll at least make them run away. Alright. Oh, you didn't go for a second dash. It's interesting because when they're alone, they can do up to 3, but they can still do only 1 or 2. So it can be kind of hard to predict sometimes. Alright. Ooh, we picked up a medicine 4. Nice. But yeah, I would definitely be interested, and I'm sure people have looked into it, finding out exactly like which room in the museum gives the most experience for how quickly you can check for a fight. Okay, we are... Wait, can we kill it before it hits us? Oh my god, I just had an idea. What if we just farm this floor? Like, reload so I'm back to level 34? And then just farm floor 51 for squirrels. That might actually be the fastest way for us to grind bonus points right now. I don't know for sure, but like that right there just got us 250 bonus points. The problem, of course, is you have to refill your mana every time you use Liberate. So if the second fight is against squirrels again, it could be a huge pain. Also, wait, did we have another super tool back in the police station? I don't remember. Ah, we found the stairs, but not the item room. Oh yeah, we're on floor 51, not 50. Right now, what I really want to do is go get the armor on floor 52 that will give us protection against confusion. I think having that should help us a lot against the squirrels. But I do think we might actually make multiple trips through floors 51 to 60. Like going back and healing up or doing whatever with items along the way. Yeah, I might also need to level up to like 36 before we try to go to the rest of the floors. I don't think it really matters much though. Wait. What level up is the next one that gives us big stat gains? I think it's 37 is where we'll get like +5 attack, +5 defense. Also, yeah, a small part of me is still regretting putting all my bonus points into damage instead of throwing some of them into defenses, because we are taking a lot of damage right now. That said, I do think it's important we be able to kill things quickly, so I'm not too upset. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I do think leveling up increases how much damage Liberate deals. So if we did get another level up, well, I mean, we already got one level, but if we went and got another one, it might increase it further. Hmm. Machine gun. Yeah, I remember picking that up. Okay. Yeah, I guess if I would have remembered what was on this floor, I wouldn't have bothered coming here. I would have just gone straight up the stairs. Because we don't really care about either of those items. Oh well. Yeah, the big thing right... Wait, can we run away from fights? I just realized I never tried running away from fights in the Chrysler building. But if so, that might actually be a useful thing to do. Yeah, if we see squirrels in our next fight, I think we try to run away and see if the game will let us. It would be pretty funny if squirrels can run away from fights, but we can't run away from them. But yeah, if we can run away from a fight, that might even let us reset the encounter roll and potentially like... Wait, no way that works, right? You can't cheese the Chrysler building by like running away, leaving and then re-entering the room and hoping not to get in a fight. I don't think that would work. But I honestly don't understand how the encounter rate works in the Chrysler building. The Chrysler building is so weird in that regard. But that's up the stairs. Because it does seem like the more enemies you kill on a given floor, the lower the encounter rate is for the entire floor. But I don't know if that's genuinely true, if it's just like RNG seeing patterns where there are none. Similarly, I don't know if that would change if you were to leave and re-enter a floor. Like if I were to go back down to floor 51 now that I've gone to floor 52, would the encounter rate go back to its normal values, or would it still be lower because I won some fights? I don't know. Ah, squirrel! Why did it have to be a stupid freaking squirrel and I had no energy? That confusion made me run the wrong way. If I could have at least ran the right way, it would have been a different story, but... Okay, auto potion triggered. We gotta cure confusion, that's funny. No, stop! Okay. I don't get why it runs away sometimes, but not others. Like, is it RNG based? Is it based on the amount of damage they took? I bet it's based on, like, how much damage they take. Yeah, this is nightmarish. There's no way I can deal with this right now. Wait, I said I was going to try to run away. Then if there was a squirrel, and then there was a squirrel, and I didn't try to run away. What is wrong with me? I'm wasting so many healing items because I didn't even try to run away. The worst part is now I've killed the squirrel, so would it be worth it to run away? Okay. Well, the good news is we can reset our energy. And if I can make it to the item room, we can get the armor that has resistance to confusion on it. Okay. Yeah, that's the big thing. If I get that armor, I think I will just leave and save. That way, for the rest of the time we have to deal with these floors, we're guaranteed to have it. Ooh, Medicine 4 and 3. That's actually very nice to have. Alright. So if the next fight has squirrels in it, we do not run away. We just open up with Liberate. So that will hopefully give us one fight in which we can take down squirrels, if need be. Okay, it's a fight without squirrels. So let's actually try escaping. Okay, oh, it said fail to escape, not that we can't escape. Let's keep trying just to see. Okay, so we can escape at least from these fights. Now we leave and then come back in the room. Let's see if the enemies are still there. Okay. So yeah, it looks like you can't cheese fights by just running away and hoping to despawn them. I didn't think it would work, but had to try it just in case. You never know. Oh no, he moved just out of my range. You know what? I am genuinely just... I don't want to say I'm burnt out, but I am starting to get to the point of it. Because of how tedious that stupid, what's it called? Cockroach fight was. I kind of want to just start a new playthrough with guns to unwind. I don't know if that's silly, but I'm like, you know, I've played this game so much, I'm struggling, I'm tired of all the tediousness. Let's just play the game some more, but under, like, normal rules. Actually, ooh, yeah, I know what I could do. I've talked about trying a no-hit run sometime. I don't know how to deal with certain bosses, but it could be fun to give it a shot. See if we can beat the game without ever getting hit. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I even know exactly which area you're talking about, I think. So yeah. That might be a good spot for me to try if I do decide to grind. Okay. So we see squirrels. Oh wait, those aren't squirrels. Those are rats. Oh my god. I was about to open up with Liberate, and then I got thrown off by the realization these weren't squirrels. Okay, so we did two-shot that. Nice. I don't know if one of those hits was a crit, though. Might have been. Yeah, it must have been. Okay. The good news is we are three-shotting these guys. The reason I say that's good news is the first time we came to the Chrysler building when we were at level 34 and hadn't put 1,000 bonus points into our attack damage, we were killing these guys in 4 hits if we didn't crit. So leveling up and investing those bonus points did get us from needing 4 hits to only needing 3 hits to kill these guys. So that's... It's funny, I finally had the energy ready to use the Liberate, and I was all excited to face squirrels, and then of course no squirrels spawned. I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, anyway, I have talked about the idea of doing a no-hit run, and I kind of want to try it, but I don't want to start off like, oh, I'm just going to instantly reload every time I get hit, because that would, without practice, that would probably become a nightmare. What I am thinking about, oh, okay. What I am thinking about trying, though, is maybe I do a just casual playthrough and use a counter like I have as this floor counter to track how many times during that playthrough I actually get hit. So instead of doing like a no-hit run, it would be a minimum hit run, and then just do multiple attempts at it to get better. That might be a way to make it like work without being super tedious to start. Anyway, we got the armor we wanted, so let's go out. This will be the first time I've retreated from the Chrysler building, but I think it's worth it. We got the armor we wanted, and that is huge. We also have almost no medicines, so... Oh, we have a cure... Oh, I'm not going to get rid of Cure Confusion. Not only can we use that to cure confusion, it'll give us, like, what do they call it? Inoculation. Stop one instance of being confused by a squirrel again. We might not need it with the armor we have giving us resistance, but we'll see. But yeah, a big thing right now is I don't know if when we go to the floor 51, if that will have the encounter rate reset or not. It does seem that the more fights you take on a floor, the lower the encounter rate gets. If so, then that might be permanent, or it might be as soon as you leave the floor it resets. It could even be as soon as you leave the building it resets. Because my understanding is once you leave the building, all the floors are re-randomized in terms of their layout. Yeah, we're on floor 51. So, only way to find out is to just play, see what happens. I have no idea which direction to go. Normally I follow the right-hand rule, and it works really well, but I don't know if that's optimal when you're starting from the exit rather than the entrance. No, wait. Wait, what am I talking about? If that's stupid of me. No, if the right-hand rule works well on the from going from the stairs up to the stairs, or from the stairs down to the stairs up, then the inverse of that would be the left-hand rule. So yeah, that's what you should do. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty stupid of me. I was like, hey, the right-hand rule works really well when you're going up the floors. I wonder what the best way to, go down the floors would be. As though it wouldn't just be, how about you do the opposite? But anyway, I do think we've made good progress. The fact we defeated the cockroaches makes me happy. So I'm gonna unwind. I genuinely think I will unwind by just starting a quote-unquote no-hit run. And it'll just be a practice attempt at it. I'm not gonna actually, worry about if I get hit a couple times. Oh! Rats have medicine floors? That's actually really convenient. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I did just open Liberate because I could. Oh, we actually dodged both. I didn't think we would. Oh, wow. Puppy feet. Okay. My dodges were on point for a little bit there, but not so much now. Oh, wait, we actually dodged the Ratman. He tried to use a melee attack on us and we got out of it. Alright, so we just stole 2 medicine floors. That's actually really good. Because we were pretty much out of heal items. Alright. Yeah, the enemies on these floors are actually giving halfway decent experience too. That's cool. Now, because I used that heal, we will not have enough energy to use the Liberate at the start of a fight. So that could be a problem. Notice how I said it? And then it immediately happened? Yeah. The good news is, we'll get the energy we need very soon. Bad news is, it did cost us 1 heal floor. Yeah, I think this should kill one and make the other run away, since that's what happened last time we tried it. I guess it does probably depend a bit on which ones get hit how many times. Yep, 1 ran away, 1 died. Okay. So we get 1 medicine 4, that'll make up for the 1 we lost in the fight. And we did get, well, it would have been 250 bonus points, but we got hit like 4 or 5 times, I think. I forget exactly how many times we got hit, but it was a lot, so that wouldn't have been worth very many bonus points. Alright. Yeah, I don't like the idea of leaving the Chrysler building, like, between 10 floors. But that armor we got is such a good item to pick up that I want to make sure we save now that we have it. And it should make going up the rest of the building quite a bit easier. What time is it anyway? Oh my god, I just realized it's... Oh yeah, maybe I won't... Oh, okay, no. I'm not going to start the no-hit run. Give me 1 second. I think a stream I was really wanting to watch is going on. Yeah. I'm, a degenerate. I love League of Legends, and there's a tournament going on right now. I didn't know the match had started. What game are they on? Uh, anyway, it's the MSI a world tournament. The grand finals is tonight, so that's why I'm kind of really wanting to watch it. So yeah, I feel bad. I was planning on streaming more, but to be fair, I did think it would take us longer to beat the cockroach, and I'm really happy. That was huge progress. So I'm happy with the stream. I just I'm so happy that I defeated the cockroach. I wanted to make more progress afterward. Those squirrels just kicked my butt too much. If it wasn't for the squirrels, I would be forcing my way up the floors because the other enemies have decent stats, but I think we can manage them. Those squirrels, though, with that confusion, I really want to get this confusion armor equipped. Well, the confusion mod equipped. And more importantly, I want to save. That way I don't lose it and have to re-find it. Because the absolute worst thing would be if I got to like floor 56 and died and then didn't have it. Then had to go through like multiple floors dealing with squirrels again and the confusion from them. That said, tomorrow I am definitely going to be continuing this run. I am excited. And I think we can actually get to floor 60 and beat the boss without needing to do any more grinding. No guarantees, but that is the plan for tomorrow. Worst case scenario, I will go ahead and grind probably at the museum like the how do you say your name? Is it Encage? Enkage? Either way, the location he mentioned, the museum, would be a good spot to level up if I just want to grind XP. Alternatively, I could grind bonus points somewhere, or even go back to the museum and grind defense pluses. I don't think I'll need to, though. I think we can actually just beat the rest of the building as is. I think from here on, the only enemy that is genuinely difficult is going to be those squirrels. And even them, it's mostly just that confusion status ailment. That is what really kicked our butt. Also, I might. You know what? I'm going to drop off some items. I'm going to save, and then I am going to go liberate some bats. It's completely silly and pointless, but I want to do it. Oh, the item hasn't respawned. Okay. Do we have a super tool left? I think we still have one. That's the whole reason I'm wanting to come here. Is if we have a super tool, yeah, I can put that confusion resistance on the armor we are currently using. Sweet. Okay. I think we will get 2 more rare cards before floor 60, and that will get us the super toolbox or super toolkit, I think is its official name. And then we will be able to move a bunch of stuff around, and it'll be very nice. In the meantime, though, we are going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to just stick with this armor that we currently have until we get the super toolkit. Once we get the super toolkit, I will be swapping this armor. Maybe not immediately, but there is an armor on floor somewhere between floor 61 and 70 that is much better than the armor we currently have. So I will be switching over to that, and I need the super toolkit to be able to do that. But anyway, I'm gonna go save, and then I'm gonna go liberate a bat, like just one time, and then I'm gonna stop for the night so I can go watch this tournament. But yeah, it's MSI. I forget what that stands for. It's like some multi. No, I don't remember. But it's a world tournament. Like it's an invitational. It's one of the biggest League of Legends tournaments of the year. And I am not good at League of Legends. I am actually quite bad at it, which is why I don't stream it, because it would be embarrassing and nobody would want to watch it. Plus, I don't want to torture the world by putting more League of Legends content out there. Nobody needs that in their lives. Unless you're addicted like me. But, no. I'm not good at it, but I love watching people who are good at it. And anyway, the using a Liberate on the bats is just because I realized after using it on those squirrels, it feels so good to have an attack that doesn't require me to get into melee range of enemies. Do I go through Chinatown? Yeah, I think so. By the way, all I can think about right now is all of the times I dropped Medicine 3 after a fight. There are actually probably like half a dozen or more chests in the Chrysler building with Medicine 3s that I set there because I didn't want anymore. And now all I can think about is, man, I wish I had one. It had some of those. Yeah. Anyway, thanks to everyone who stopped by. It was really cool to hear that my stream helped with the monotony of someone's grind. That's cool. Yeah, it's always nice to have people to talk to, and it's not so much to talk to, though, that part's nice. It's just nice to know, like, hey, I'm streaming and somebody actually enjoyed it. That's cool. Also, Maeda's here. Man, this is weird. Maeda was at the museum. He was in a room that got blown up and he jumped out a window. Then he ran over to the hospital, meet us there when we killed the King Amoeba. And now he's over here? What is this guy doing? Wait, did he just say a giant toilet? Thank goodness you are safe. Uh, he said, what was that sound? It sounded like a giant toilet. I have never seen that dialogue before. That was hilarious. That was awesome. I guess that was from when we turned the sewer turbines on to get rid of the slime thing that Eve had created. Genuinely, though, I had never seen that dialogue before. And then Maeda even has different dialogue when you go see him at the hospital than when he was there before you finish it. So, all right, we have no energy right now, so we'll need to regenerate energy before I can liberate. But I am going to end the stream with liberating stupid bats. No fight here. Wait, what if the bats don't spawn anymore? I can't imagine that would be true, but that would actually be kind of cool if after you clear out the sewer boss, all the enemies stop spawning, sort of like in the Chrysler building. Obviously, that's not the case. The reason I say that would be cool is the dungeon has so many items, be able to like easily go get them would be pretty cool. Oh, cool, we got medicine too. To be clear, I'm not even going to go back and save after I do this. Wait, why am I trying to kill? I need my energy to refill. Yeah, the whole point right now is just to let my energy refill, kill this set of bats, then find another set of bats, preferably 3 or more, and use the liberate to kill all of them at once. To get revenge for all the times they annoyed me. Oh god. Wait, did you see that? How did that happen? We swung and the attack from the bat just went like over our head and missed us. Like we didn't move, so it wasn't that we dodged, it just somehow completely whiffed. That was crazy. I am genuinely going to pull that up in the VOD after I close the stream just to see how that happened. Thank you, thank you. I will be streaming again tomorrow if you do want to stop by. I'm hoping to defeat the crab and then maybe even the queen bee fight. We'll see. Depends on how hard the fights are. But yeah. Right now I'm streaming most days just because I can and it's fun. To be honest, I usually play video games every day. And I decided to stream just as, I'm already playing video games, might as well. Oh my god, look at that damage. This is completely petty and stupid and silly and dumb, but I love it. Just seeing the bat get hit for 900 damage at the start of the fight made me happy. Wait, is one bat going to survive? That would be so sad. Nope, there it dies. I feel like I am a god. Wait, no, an enemy actually survived. Oh, that's funny. The game punished me for my pettiness. But anyway, that was funny. I enjoyed it. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you have a good day. Have a good weekend. Hope you get to do anything fun. I do have dinner plans again tomorrow, so my stream might start a little later than I would like. I don't think I'll be out quite as late as I was tonight, but we'll see. That said, thanks to everyone who stopped by, and anyone who checks out VOD, happens to catch this on YouTube or whatever else. I hope you're all having a good day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!